Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here ready to go for another match of the Irish Tour. This one, it will be the Maori All Blacks taking on Ireland. Now, last time that these two sides met, it was a win to the Maori All Blacks. This week, it is going to be an Irish side coming off their own victory up against the All Blacks. Will this possibly be a second one of the tour?
Yes.
You think?
No, I don't.
It was a loud slap on that.
What happens if Ireland lose twice to the Maori All Blacks? They lose once to the All Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
So they lose 3 games. They only win 2. Do they win the series?
Well, if they win 2 games up against the All Blacks, they win their test match series type thing. But this one, I guess you could say, since it is quite a different Irish side, we may see a whole new look to this game than we did for that match that we did watch on Saturday. But the big thing here is going to be the fact that it's absolutely bucketing down at Sky Stadium now.
I have a question. Is Liam Mason in this team?
He is not. No, he hasn't played. And also we have got the same Irish team that play the All Blacks. Not quite. Same Irish side on paper, I guess you could say, in terms of the name, but it is not the same side out on the field. The only player who is still there is Keith Earls. Other than that, almost a completely new starting lineup and a reserves. But we will go through and look through at New Zealand Maori side in this contest. It will be Ollie Norris, Kurt Eklund, and Tyrell Lomax as the front row. Malachi Selby-Rickett and Isaiah Walker-Leawere. So, boy, that's a terrible night in Wellington.
Yeah,
it's raining sideways. Just not what either of these sides would have been running.
The Irish will be used to it.
Yeah, I guess.
Nice, not Munster.
Wellington, you're probably getting used to it as well, aren't you? Yeah. Sadly, but then looking through at the loose forward trio, Reed Prinsep, Billy Harmon, and Cullen Grace. Very strong loose forward trio.
Cullen Grace, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Gets to play number 8 for this contest. GJ Perenara going to be there at number 10. And also we have got there at the 10. Nice, it says, Preston, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And we love the rain, says Steve. And also Coach Farrell wants to give some guys a run out and pick some for the next test, says Steve. Yeah, that's the thing. This is really almost, you could say, the trial run for the test match. Whoever plays well in this game will find themselves either in the starting lineup or on the bench for that game at Sky Stadium a little bit later on.
Generally speaking, if they don't get the win here, he's not really worried. He just wants to see whether or not guys can withstand pressure.
Exactly right. And straight away when you see these conditions, it's like
going to be hard.
It's going to ruin the free flow of the game.
Cullen Grace is one that I'm interested in watching because he's one of those ones that people claim, and Ioane, people claim they sort of should be in the All Blacks, but then they're not sure.
I think Cullen Grace had a real good chance, and he would be valuable at number 6 for the All Blacks now that we've got a few injuries.
Cullen with a bit of kick, you know.
Bit of spice in there as well. That's not to do with his hair colour, I should mention as well.
Okay.
You know. But now, Alex Nankerville and Balin Sullivan in the midfield, Connor Garden-Bishop, Sean Stevenson, and then Josh Morby there as fullback. He's an exciting one to watch. I've always said when the Hurricanes are playing, watch out for Morby. Probably don't remember him too much, but there he is there. Watch that face.
Okay.
So he's going to be a future All Black. And who will win, says Tiger. I think with these conditions, they probably do actually benefit the Irish more. The Maori All Blacks would love to play that free-flowing, fast-paced rugby, whereas Ireland, we always see a little bit more structure from the way that they play.
They've got Murray and Cam Carberry in the reserves.
Yeah, those guys are getting 10 minutes tops, unless there's an injury. Similar to what we saw.
An interesting one. He was meant to be Ireland's big fly half.
Yeah, but then Johnny Sexton got revitalised, didn't he?
Yeah.
And now he's having another big crack.
I remember was it the last when they toured Australia? I remember that was when Carberry was leaving Leinster, and he was leaving Munster or going to Leinster.
That weather's shocking.
Yeah,
that's not good rugby weather. Unfortunately, I'm just looking at it. It's raining sideways. The wind is getting stronger. The rain is getting heavier.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a fun time for either of these sides. And also, we've got the Johan Rugby in the chat. Also, Pooty V and David the Mulder here. As well, Marco Vanapola a little bit earlier on. Hope you are doing well, mate. This is the Irish lineup. Jeremy Luckman, I thought he was out for the whole tour when he did get injured in that first match up against the Maori All Blacks. But he looks like he's raring to go, and he will be hopefully having a full performance here. There he is, the man with the...
Yes, Like one.
Jeez, he looks like he's his twin, the guy who's just made his way out there. I think
they look confused, don't they? They look keen.
Well, that's because you know it's going to be an absolutely terrible day. And the worst thing is, you have to stand out there and listen to the national anthem for a few minutes. Not because of the national anthem, don't get me wrong. I love the Irish one. And you got to chant it big time. But the problem is, you got to stand there after warming up in freezing cold, cross-southerly shit. And it's going to be very wet.
It's interesting though, because you sort of like look at this and you go, well, like obviously I want the Maori All Blacks to win, but you kind of want to see some young Irish players, play well, because it's like a big thing. You know what I mean?
Tom O'Toole slotting in at number 3 and Niall Scannell is the front row. We'll quickly go through the rest of the Irish lineup. I've realised we've actually only got about 8 minutes till the game kicks off, which is actually very good indeed. But Joe McCarthy and Kieran Treadwell, he has actually been coming off the bench a few times for the Irish in the past. And the actual test matches, Prendergast, then it will be Nick Timoney, he's a good young player. Watch out for him. And then Gavin Coombs, the big tank, at number 8. Craig Casey slots in at number 9 with Kieran Frawley at 10. Then it will be McCloskey and Keith Earls as the midfield. Jordan Lamar, he's a good player. He might make his way into the test side if he's lucky. And then Jimmy O'Brien, at number 11, and Michael Lowry slotting in at fullback. And also we've got the Europeans playing this kind of weather all the time. I think it favours the Irish. Exactly
Jordan
right.
Lamar is another interesting one as well.
He's class out on the wing, isn't he?
Good step.
And he's going to be marking up against, I believe, at number 11, it's going to be the youngster Connor Garden Bishop. Oh, okay, a little break in the weather. So it seems like we're not going to have too much rain just as the national anthems take place, which is good news. And expect the Irish to be a lot more competitive this time. And their butt Kia Kaha boy says, Johnny, they will certainly bring it, because at the end of the day, being in that team environment after an All Blacks win, first time ever in New Zealand, that would just put you up to the absolute next level. Yeah. And that is what we're going to see from the Irish. George, the All Blacks need Steve Hansen back, take him out of his house and kidnap him and force him to come back to the All Blacks. Ian Foster can't do the job. Says Johan there as well. But we should mention earlier on, we did see as well about the question of who is the head coach for the Maori All Blacks. It is Clayton McMillan.
I think it should be Scott Robertson.
You know? I
think they should have had someone in there. Something,
And is a Moneybags on the Irish? Not at this point. We haven't seen a Steve Smith yet. He's got quite the reputation, doesn't he, Steve Smith? But that is going to be the benches for this match. Lenny upper side, Tamaiti Williams and Marcel Renata as the front row replacement. Max Hicks on debut. Caleb Delaney on debut as well.
Together we will harvest potatoes.
George, you have quite a few Irish workers, don't you?
Yeah, we're bringing 5 Irishmen. So I'm actually reasonably close to the country of Ireland. I've got a lot of friends over there. Yeah. A lot. I'll be over there one day. Oh, yeah. In England. I'm actually quite close with those 2 countries.
And Brad Weber, Ruben Love and Billy Proctor as the backline. Rob Herringhead, Bird, Finlay Bilham slotting in as the front row. Ryan Beard, Jack Conan, Connor Murray, Joey Carberry and Matt Hansen. Can I just say, announcing the Irish side while the Irish national anthem is blaring in your ears and hearing the crowd sing it just feels like you're starting some sort of intro of a battle movie. It's like the boys are getting ready. Kieran Frawley ready to go. And if they don't start Moong on Saturday, Foster should quit, says Brian there. And good evening, says No Mum. Hope you are doing very well. I'll be sleeping all day and got my tickets for the AB's Pumas in Hamilton. Awesome. And how many knock-ons in the first half? I'm going 7. I think actually somehow it looks brighter. All of a sudden, it's as if they decided that they're just going to have a downpour just before the game, and then when the players are out there, it's going to be possibly a little bit drier.
Mahid Ultras really got the sponsorships going, doesn't he? He did a big deal with NZ Rugby. I thought it was just the All Blacks.
I think 7's not too far off either, Sebastian.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a few. Hopefully, someone's able to hang on to it, get some of that good old gel on your hands that just makes everything stick to it.
Yeah.
At the moment, a few people tuning up for this game, which is awesome. And also this thing, the thing is, it's not only on here. He must obviously be an important dude somewhere. Says Gareth. Yeah, that's true. He works about 72 hours a week, Steve Smith.
Oh, really? Yeah, wow.
He's a hard working man. He's in Western Australia, so...
that would explain it. If he's working in the mines or something. My boy's loaded. What's the head coach tomorrow? Who is he?
Clayton McMillan, the Chiefs head coach, alongside Gatland.
Oh, right.
So he was partly... That's the thing. Warren Gatland gets all the credit for the turnaround in the Chiefs. I think Clayton McMillan did a lot for them as well. Yeah. Well, they went from losing every single game of the season to almost, they made it to the Super Rugby Aotearoa final. And now they're competitive each and every year. They had a season where they lost 10 games in a row.
When was that?
Only about, I want to say 3 years ago or something along those lines. First season of Super Rugby Aotearoa.
No, Warren Gatland came in as the head coach that season.
But Clayton McMillan, he'd been working hard behind the scenes. I know you're a fan of Gatlin, but he wasn't the only thing that helped them.
I can't remember a season when they lost nearly every single game.
Because you weren't watching Super Rugby Aotearoa. They had a shocker.
Did they?
I could show you their record from about 2020.
They were good. And so there's just one season. It's not really a turnaround when it's one season. No, it's more just a resuming back to where you were.
They were quite low. Yeah. The old Chiefs. McKenzie had a blinder for them. And also, what about the Blues game? 25-0. Says Sebastian, that is one that every Blues fan will always mention anytime we talk about the Chiefs turnaround. And also, hey, Fever, kick me in the butt, says Brandon there. And also, okay, Maoris, let's kick some patty ass, says David. Those are fighting words, David. Yeah. Moment fired up for this contest. Haka about to take place for the All Blacks. Maori All Blacks.
Gross, Maori?
He's got like 3% or something, I think. That's all you need. TJ Perenara, he will be fired up for this game. 3 yellow and a red, I reckon Clayton played for the Bay. And there says David the Modern also going Murray ABs. And there as says Ernest. Okay, the All Blacks, or the Maori All Blacks, I should say. I keep on saying the All Blacks, which I know annoys people because like they say it's not the same.
It's not the same.
I'm going to quickly.
That's way worse.
Wait for it. It is way worse, yes.
I have already experimented with this.
There we go. That's better. Till it did that. Still it did that.
We never get it perfect.
Have to do, won't it?
Yeah, that's the sun.
Yeah, it is. It's something that we haven't got here and they haven't got in Wellington, and also 3% is either mistress or a one night stand in it, Sebastian. Yeah. I want to say it's like great grandparents or something.
It's a bit silly. I reckon they should just have an All Blacks B team, to be honest.
Jeez. Or they actually bring it in New Zealand A. Lenny Apasai at the front's an absolute tank to have for your haka, isn't he?
The boy's going to kill someone.
He might.
Oh, little man from Cork is going to hit that.
He's going to hit that.
He's not going to, little boy from Cork, played rugby in high school, is now currently facing off against him in New Zealand going, okay.
There he is.
Look at him. He's like, that is literally Jason Momoa I'm taking on there.
I was thinking the same
thing. Look at them. Like, right, boys, we know we're scared, but
you got to think back to that last one. And Gerbra means as Haka says Darren there. And also do they roll with those flat clubs? Like if a bowler are war weapons or you sex room toys?
Eh?
Yeah, for that one. And also go Maori AB says Ernest there. I hope it's a great game. Would love to see some young guys put their hands up for selection in the main Irish and the New Zealand teams. Yeah, I'm looking straight away at, I would say Josh Morby is one to certainly watch out for. And also we have got there, don't kick me, bros. You only said mean as Haka. We weren't gonna kick you for that. And good morning, says Anthony. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. But yeah, Josh Morby, young guy to watch out for. Maybe a little bit of Balin Sullivan at 13 as well. Couple Hurricanes boys. Keep an eye on them. Carl Dixon in charge of this one. Jordan Way, Christoph Ridley, and then James Leckie as the TMO. And A-Lad says, Obi, welcome in and hope you are doing well. And also, what kind of a haka is it? Is it a more of an aggressive one? I would say so. I remember there was a red-headed Maori one stage was questioning that one. Says Colin there. I mean, Cullen Grace, he's got a bit of that. Yeah. We know Finley Christie isn't getting selected for the Maori All Blacks anytime soon, though, don't we?
No.
Got more that Scottish heritage.
Yeah.
Or in typical Wellington weather, says Darren. Yeah, it's looking like it might have a slight gap in the play or slight gap in the rain, but it's going to be coming back very, very, very soon, I would think, as well. But game 2 between the Maori All Blacks and Ireland is just about to kick off, and Ireland, they will be receiving this ball, I believe. And as it is kicked off with the grubber from Josh Ioane, trying to make it a little bit scrappy early on. I mean, it did work. There's a knock-on the ground.
Penalty.
Tactical there from the All Blacks. Yeah. A grubber off kickoff to make it very slippery just to test out the water.
Wow. Wow.
And I'll say there are heaps of ginger Māori, mate. Says that was Johnny. And also we have the Ireland will walk all over yous. Says Shane Dunn there.
Well done, Shane. You're a good guy.
Yeah, at this stage, I'm looking forward to the last test match. It's going to be an awesome one. And to be honest, if the All Blacks play the way they did last weekend, the Irish will walk all over them this weekend on Saturday.
They will.
Now the pack weights, a little bit of an advantage. Oh, it's a free kick already to the All Blacks. Cullen Grace wasn't quite ready for it. He's taking the quick tap. Now passes off to Billy Harmon. Now he will also be one that I wouldn't mind seeing get a chance for the All Blacks one day. Although the problem is he's a 7 and we've got 17 already playing for the All Blacks. TJ Perenara goes off to the left-hand side. Josh Ioane back to Isaiah Walker-Leawere. Big man at lock. And that's the thing with so many lock injuries, maybe one of these guys, if they play well here, might get the chance to get called up to the ABs. And also, how many seconds was that for the first knock on? I'd say 4, I think we were. Josh Ioane's gone for the grubber again. It's set up now. That was a 4 pass from Josh Morby, but it's going to be play on just for now until they go back to check it. Now good run forward from Morby. 10 metres out from the line. Perenara goes with the interception pass almost, but Minikai Selby-Rickard able to clean it up. Another advantage to the Maori ABs. Perenara goes off to the left-hand side. It's going to be skidding on Josh Morby, trying to break his way through. And that's the thing. He's got great strength, deceptive strength for a fullback.
What's number 12 for Ireland doing?
He's just trying to work out where the ball is in the breakdown. But they're going back for the penalty, and also it's going to be a tight game, I think. Certainly is. And also 100 kilometres, mild capital, gentle breeze. Says Darren there.
Just a nice one out there, isn't it?
Right, straight out in front of the post. The All Blacks, possibly, if we were watching the All Blacks, would go for the 3.
Yeah.
Maori All Blacks, we know how aggressive they love to be, and they are kicking for the corner. This was an easy 3 points.
Yeah.
That tells you straight away they're ready to play, and they want to play a hard attacking game up against this Irish side. Want to try and maybe G on their teammates for that game on Saturday.
Well, they want to set the pace for the rest of the game. They're not here to play boring Northern Hemisphere rugby. They want to play running rugby.
I don't like that too, because like Northern Hemisphere rugby has come a long way in the last little while in terms of the pace and the structure that they play. It's going to be at a back line. Sean Stevenson's in, and it's the first strike. Sorry, was I? Oh, I thought you said but noisy. That is the try to Sean Stevenson. And just like that, the Maori ABs score themselves the first try of the match. And the benefit of going for that corner was it worked. For the Maori ABs, who will go try at scorers. You want to explain that try to us?
They went out the back line and they went to the number 14. Stevenson, and he scored.
And he often does for the Maori All Blacks. It was just a backline movement. Josh Ioane out, and then unfortunately for him,
well done, George.
Who was that on the wing? I want to say that was Jimmy O'Brien, but he didn't look like he was quite far enough wide. But then with the amount of Maori AB's players running forward, he pretty much had to pick one guy and stick with him. Unfortunately, went with the guy on the inside. They went with the skip pass from Ioane, and it did lead to the first try of the match. And also, we let you score, just give you some false hope. Says Shane there. Maybe. And also we have got there, George, you're a wordsmith. Says Colin there. Great try. And Jack Cooney, Wellington Weather. And also, have you, the ABs, got a try within 5 minutes? ABs couldn't do that as well. The All Blacks really couldn't do that within about 30 minutes of both the games.
The first 3 minutes of the game, the Maori All Blacks got a penalty. And they've been extremely dominant. You know?
Josh Ioane, this is a tough one to kick.
God, you stuffed that up.
No, you see that it came around late, but he did still miss. It's not an easy day for kicking. It may look calm at the moment, but it's probably, like someone mentioned, about 100 kilometres of wind. All right, and also we are going to get going. And also relaxed colour commentary. There's Mr. Clean, and also come on the boys in green. I'm stuck at work, so thanks guys for the live commentary. Says Richard, no worries at all, mate. We will be back for the matchup this weekend between New Zealand and Ireland as well. So that is going to be an absolutely massive clash, a deciding match, and all of the Northern Hemisphere were able to take the wins up against the South for last weekend. The week before, it all went the South. So now every single game this weekend's a decider. Also, who's got the win, please? At this stage, I want to say the way that Josh Ioane kicked off, you would think they're kicking into the breeze. Yeah. Because he did end up going with the grubber.
Breeze is going with Ireland.
Okay. Yeah. So they'll be able to boot it majorly. So this should go pretty much straight up from TJ Perenara, you would think. Yeah, there's a little bit of a mistake there from the fullback, but he's done nicely. Now cleaning it back up. And a decent run forward from the Irish fullback, whose name is straight away falling off my brain. Oh, Luckman, nice sell of the dummy. Now backline Keith Earls. That's a little bit too wide.
He shouldn't have passed that one, but it'll be right.
It's going back for the penalty.
Right.
You have to aim a kick to the left of the post to convert the kick. At evening, Amish, your mate looks cold, plus he is tired. Thanks for this, Amish, and Bob from Lower Hutt as well. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well.
Yeah, mate.
He's had a bit
Bob.
He had an interesting day, haven't you? It's been very wet here, so he hasn't been able to go yamming.
Yeah.
Did you play Red Dead most of today?
Yeah, man, I did some damage. I discovered there's like a prison state penitentiary halfway up the river in Red Dead Redemption, and I can't get to it because I don't think I'm ranked high enough on online. I tried to swim the horse across and it wouldn't let me. You know.
Okay, the Maori All Blacks in Hamilton, 9 from 9 for the scrum, so they'll all be looking for that. This is the Maori All Blacks side that they have gone with, ladies and gentlemen. We are showing here. I was about to say, who do you think will get the first try, but who will get the next try of this match, do you think? Nice run forward from
no
Ioane.
idea. I don't like guessing.
And then this is the Irish side that they have gone with.
So
Quite a few Munster players in the back line alongside a bit of Leinster slotting in there as well, which is normally a very prominent side
defense
of the Irish.
But the All Blacks are just going to keep running it.
TJ Perenara cut-out pass off to Josh Morby. He's got great acceleration as well. He drives hard.
Killed a man.
Yeah, that's hurt Craig Casey badly.
Yeah.
I think he's done his elbow.
I think he's done something there.
Maybe a wrist. Yeah, he doesn't look happy. That's probably
also...
also...
run. He just powered into it, you know what I mean?
And score already says strike there was indeed.
We are just going.
Yeah, they are going backwards at the moment as Iwaka, which isn't something you say very often for a man who's of his size.
No.
Now Josh Morby sells the dummy, tries to go straight through. But the thing I like about Morby's game style is he's not afraid to run the ball.
No, I like that. Hopefully coaches don't ruin that. They aren't really getting anywhere as such, though. The Irish defense does...
Oh, this is trouble. It's gone too wide. And guys, in which province do you live? Canterbury or Otago? Kind of halfway in between. That ball didn't find touch. Or did they take it? It might have been a quick throw. John Lamar does score the try for Ireland. And just like that, we look away for half a second, and the Irish go in. And that is a very exciting first 7 minutes of this contest. One try for each of these teams. Jordan Lamar does well.
Well, haven't he just tapped it?
Yeah, they took it quickly. Went the 5 metres. Brilliant work from the veteran Keith Earls.
So, yeah.
And off to Jordan Lamar.
I don't know about that, man. I didn't know you could do that.
You can.
I thought you could do that for a penalty, which is a tap. But I didn't know.
The ruling is as long as the opposition haven't touched that ball once the ball has gone out, and as long as when you throw it in, it's gone 5 metres. It's
gone 5 metres.
Yeah, so it has to make it to that first line on the, like, you know how there's like that dotted line. So pretty much it's got to travel 5, so you can't just offload it like 2 centimetres inwards.
Yeah. You
got to make sure it goes 5 metres. I think they're just explaining it now.
Number 9, has he got a broken arm?
He looks like he's all right now.
Yeah, he was touching it there, and he was, oh, yeah, daddy.
I think it's just more, he might have gotten a real stinger because that's the plan.
Kyron can get it.
He'll be all good. Kieran Frawley straight down the middle, and the Irish take the lead now. 7 points to 5 here. And also, we got a live on Channel 4, which says Daddy Bob. And they're also, Prime actually has this Maori All Blacks game.
Yeah.
Well, this contest, which is awesome. And also great to see Ireland using this tour partially or partly as a World Cup development tour. Great strength and depth. Says Westy, exactly right. It can only do wonders for Ireland being able to select from a player pool of about 60 rather than a player pool of about 35. Like, Ireland and the URC were brilliant.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't win the competition, like Leinster, Munster, and Ulster all right up the top of the kind of conferences.
Yeah.
And also, could you ask George my question? I'm really curious about this one. Says Sebastian, one moment, we will go back. And also, did you turn Arthur Morgan into an honourable cowboy? Or did you turn Arthur Morgan into an honourable cowboy or a complete arsehole, George?
Well, I'm playing online. And my online player is a complete arsehole. I slaughtered the whole family. And the dog.
Oh, jeez. Now, TJ Perenara, ball available at the back and round the side. That looked a little bit high.
Yeah.
Looked like you kind of had him round the I was
TJ's
going to say the scrotum area, but that's not that. What's that called? The scrotum. There's a name, esophagus region, or the neck, yeah. Top of the spine, now running hard at the line. It's Ollie Norris, that rhymed. That almost did as well. Now Isaiah Walker-Leawero picks it up. He's got Josh Morby with him. He didn't see him. He was too busy looking at the defender. Oh, that's a big shot on Manakai Selby-Rickett.
Where was the support?
Okay, I think Manakai Selby-Rickett's trying to say he got shouldered there, but referee playing advantage for a knock on. I think it will just be play on until he's dropped that in.
Are they going to look at it?
I don't think so. I think they'll say it's all good. And also next weekend at Wales, Aussie, Scotland, Ireland victories. Says Darren there. And also we've got there any free website for the rugby, says Young. The only option really is Prime in New Zealand. If you're in New Zealand, you should be able to watch it on Freeview on demand. You might be able to watch Prime, no worries. Or TV and no. It's either TVNZ or Prime on demand. I think you can watch it. And also, George, what did you do with the bearskin after you kill it? And Red Dead, I don't know. Says Jack there.
You can put it on the back of your horse.
Yeah.
What do you do? Yeah, you put the bearskin on the back of your horse.
Well done.
Or you can put the whole beer on the back of your horse.
Says Luke. There's who's your guys' favourite player in the All Blacks? So I would say my favourite's probably Artie Savia.
Yeah.
In terms of like that work rate and the breakdowns, but also when Ethan Blackadder comes back, he's right up there as well.
Yeah.
I do love a loose forward who does what a loose forward kind of historically does, and that's just work their ass off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That sounded like I was firing shots at someone in the current All Blacks, which is not the case, ladies and gentlemen. I know that.
Absolutely fine, because none of them are doing their job so far. Don't know what the bloody ruck is.
And also pub will be full, as says Darren. Yeah, and it's going to be even more full this weekend. Like, there's not going to be a quiet bar in Ireland. There's not going to be a quiet bar in New Zealand at 7:05.
It's a big thing for them if they win the series.
Well, it's already huge to win a game in New Zealand, isn't it?
I've already seen a few articles, though. Are the Northern Hemisphere teams peaking too early for the World Cup?
Lama now. Nice step in from Jordan Lama. Waiting for this one at the back, Craig Casey. That looks like, I think he just got a stinger on the elbow.
Yeah.
And I think he's all good now for Craig Casey. Counter ruck there from Manakai Selby Rickett, who's getting a bit fired up.
What was the point in that?
I think it's because that guy who tackled him earlier that was going to be awkward for Morway. Didn't quite get to it, but now Connor Gunnar-Bishop goes for the grubber in mine. It's going to be a bit of pressure here on Ireland. Michael Lowry cleans it up, and he doesn't look for touch. Instead, he's going to be looking crossways. Now does the chip and chase. It's been almost tackled without the ball. Brilliantly done by Ollie Norris to jump on that one off to Alex Nankerville.
Okay.
A very solid Super Rugby Pacific season. A lot of Chiefs players.
Keep going.
Isaiah Walker-Leawere bumps off Keith Earls.
That man's dead.
He's all right. Jeremy Luckman, he's back up. He's a Terminator, that man, because I thought he'd be out for the series, but he came back after like 2 games off.
No, he goes.
Lomax. And I cracked that was, he's got the penalty there for Prendergast. Now, look close to a knee being down, but I think he actually managed to balance his knee on Nankerville.
Does that count, though? It's the same thing, isn't it?
No, he's all right. And also, I watched a replay of Saturday's games. Our midfield was terrible. Yeah, it just didn't fire, did it? I guess it's the best
forwards. Way. I think every game surrounds around the forwards. If they don't do their job right, then the whole thing goes out of whack.
And also, it's 8:20 a.m. over here, says Richard. That's the thing. I feel like the Irish pubs, if they aren't open at like 6 on the day of the All Blacks test, they are going to miss out on so many dollars, really, or euros, pounds. What do they have in Ireland? Euros. Now, going off now.
No, not euros.
Sean Stevenson. Cut pass on the inside to Billy Armand. That looked flat to Perenara. And now he's trying to break through. He's really getting isolated. It's a sea of green.
Recycle quicker than that.
Nankerville back across over the top. It's a knock on.
God damn it.
Now it's going back for the scrum. And Guinness is great. Says Hanoi there. And the native says Ablo. And also, we need a streak out of you at halftime. George says James. Or not.
What's that? I'm not doing that. You want me to run around his house naked? No, I'm good.
And also, we'll be at the pub at 6 a.m. Table already booked, says Steve. There you go. That's the spirit.
Steve's getting on the piss.
Yeah, well, if there's ever a time to do it, it's a deciding match between Ireland and the All Blacks.
Who does Zans Sullivan play for?
He plays for the Blues, normally number 15, but for this game, they've gone with Josh Morby. That's the thing. They're actually in trouble at the moment, the young All Blacks, because there's so many great fullbacks coming through the rankings. You got Morby, you got Zans Sullivan, Connor Garden-Bishop can also play fullback. Like, there's almost one young guy for each of the teams around the country.
I was reading, though, Zans Sullivan was being tipped as... Who's the number 10 that's been tipped as the next big thing? Because both Bone and Barrett and Richie Maori are off contract at the end of the World Cup.
Stephen Petafeta's had a couple little mentions.
No, it's not him. It's some new fella that's popped through, and they're claiming that when one of those two go, he will pop up as the next number 10.
Ruben Love?
I thought it was Zans Sullivan.
I mean, he has got very good kicking.
Yeah.
Like his territory, 50-22s, he does it better than anyone in the Super Rugby competition.
Yeah. Because it's interesting, they reckon out of Bowden and Richie, one of them's going to leave. I want it to be Bowden. If someone's going to leave, I want it to be Bowden. I don't think he even he's not kicking on all cylinders anymore.
Did you hear it?
Roller coaster.
Did you hear about the under-20s versus Aussie? I didn't. They were playing today, though, weren't they?
They smashed Aussie, didn't they?
I know that when New Zealand played them, they did, but I think they were going to be Argentina, Australia today or something. No, it must be Argentina. Oh, careful. Argentina, Fiji, it might be. And also we have got the AL. And also wait, do you guys live in Timaru? Not quite, a little bit further south of Timaru. And also, what time will you be? Will it be in Ireland, please? Says Darren, sorry. And can you focus on the commentating more? Yeah, we did just have a scrum reset. So that is why we were slightly off topic. But now Ireland, they have got this one back off their own scrum. Kicking that downfield. It's a good, decent kick. Just outside of the 25-metre line. But now Connor Garner Bishop goes back. But I believe it will be an 8:05 p.m. kickoff or 8:05 a.m. kickoff in Ireland for anyone who is wondering what time to watch the All Blacks play the Irish as well. And also Junior Box left out Rohan Finta and Sasha. I'm going to butcher that last name, so I'll just call him Sasha. Now nicely taken by Craig Casey. Come back to his Munster teammate. Lowry. See, that looked like he was kicking into the wind, didn't it? And Joshuani looking for touch. And that one, decent enough kick down to 40 metres out. And Joshuani asking for a couple more metres. I feel like that's the worst thing to do to the touchy. Yeah. Ask for more metres, because then he's just going to stop walking, isn't he? Yeah. He's going to go, nah. No. I think I'm quite happy with it being here. Yeah. And also, I think here's James there as well. But yeah, we will be doing the commentary for Ireland versus New Zealand. Alongside those games, we have also got the Fiji versus Samoa, Tonga versus Australia A, Argentina versus Scotland, South Africa versus Wales, and England versus Australia. So a light weekend of rugby. Yeah. On the channel. Yeah. Man, I look white at the moment from the light.
Do what you do. You know.
I look like I'm almost ghostly.
White one.
Like, I'm not, well, I am quite pale.
Lost. Lost
line out there. So the All Blacks have got this one back on the halfway line. Orly Norris back to Lomax. Two big props linking up. Just realising how many players from the Chiefs and the Hurricanes are really in this lineup that they've gone with particular.
North Island teams.
And 69-12 New Zealand versus Oz Saturday. Under 20s on Sunday as well. Says Ed Smith. Very nicely done by the young New Zealand side. Kick deep from Ioane. Now Jimmy O'Brien cleans up at the back. Does give it an almighty heave downfield. It's close. It's a good clearing kick. Josh Ioane, stop pointing or else the referee will get sick of you. Yep, he stopped walking again. Yeah. You can't tell the touch judge how to do his job without the touch judge just going, you just got to go, right. Okay, I'll just kick it further next time. Yeah. If he's going to cut it back. And imagine Pablo Matera playing for the All Blacks. I mean, it would be an interesting combination. He would be a useful 6 at the moment for us, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Nicely taken by Isaiah Walker-Leawere. We haven't actually seen a huge amount of drop balls. I think we've had 3, though, so a decent amount. And hey, guys, says Mr. Lachlan, welcome in, mate. Roll them all now, opening up for the Maori All Blacks. It's really wheeled round. It looks like they've actually done very well to keep that one straight on the halfway line. Tyrell Lomax, they've been told to use it once by Carl Dixon, the referee. This one, he's almost been told to use it twice. Yes, he does now. TJ Perenara goes off to Alex Nankerville, tries to step. There wasn't much of a gap there, but he's been able to find the offload to Josh Ioane. Now pop pass off to Perenara, running sideways to Garden Bishop on the wing. Kind of nicely trying to sneak through. Offload to Perenara. The Maori All Blacks want to play this game at a frantic pace. Or Caleb Delaney actually out there on the field. I believe, is that for Reed Prinsep?
Probably. I don't know.
Already an injury in this contest for the Maori ABs. Not what they would have wanted. Sean Stevenson once again has the step. Oh, that was silky skills on the inside. Off to Alex Nankerville, who gets back up to his feet and tries to go again. Who is that number 8 in the starting lineup for? Oh, Cullen Grace. He's still out there, though, isn't he?
The left. They should have gone to the left just then.
Now, Perenara goes off to that left-hand side. That was not the passing option. Balin Sullivan gets lined up.
That's where a good number 10 comes in, because he's aware of where the ball should go. Whereas, someone who's at number 10, they just sort of pass the ball around wherever they want, and then that's how defenses find it so easy to. They had a huge overlay on that side. Yeah. If he had got it out wide to the winger, he would have bloody gotten some ground there. But
Rame Kapoya be on the touchline.
No idea who that is.
Plays for the Chiefs. Also has a very good 50-22 kicking game. Throughout Super Rugby Pacific. And also, hey guys, our tomorrow's State of Origin Game 3 game is going to be a good game to watch, says Zakawa there. And we are actually going to be doing the commentary, myself and my dad. We will be doing it on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Also, go New South Wales, you got this, or they got this. Says it there and there. And also this weekend's decider is massive rugby at its best. It is indeed 100% going to be an absolutely awesome clash between the All Blacks and Ireland. And not just that one, we've got a couple other ones that will be coming up as well. And also this Irish team will win, says Davida there. They've got a decent crack, and at the moment they are sitting with 2 points advantage in this contest. 19 points.
Who's James Ogden?
He's one who has a bit of a crush on you from a while ago.
Does he?
Yeah.
He told me to wake up.
Yeah.
All right.
He's always had a slight thing for you, I think. Or he's a bit, I guess, obsessed might sound a bit too much, but he does always mention you when you're on.
Oh, okay.
And also, whether the Maori need to kick low, says don't till death. And also, George, did you play in the forwards? Says I know there. He was in the midfield, weren't you?
Wing,
centre.
Midfield, yeah.
Josh Morby taking the mark. Now kicks it downfield, and it has gone into touch.
I always wanted to be in the forwards.
Mm.
I didn't like being in the back line. I like being in the forwards and getting in there and, messing people up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone, sort of playing against dumbasses like for Timaru boys and that, where they like breathe heavy, like, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And you try to outdo them with your aggression. So you always can.
And also we go there. Gets cold in the back. Says Hanoi. Definitely when it's a quiet day of not much ball going out there, and also the All Blacks are restaying at the Intercon, Hamish, and there says it was Bob. But that's the thing. The All Blacks, they're going to have to make sure that injuries aren't something that pops up in training, because they've lost plenty of locks already. Now that one's going down in the front row almost. Going down in the ruck, I should say. Nice run from Balin Sullivan. 13 for this contest. Now TJ Peronata goes back across to Ollie Norris. Josh Ioane off to Billy Harmon. Now once again.
Get off.
Close. That's a nice, almost. He's still got his hands on the ball and he gives away the penalty.
He's like, what did I do?
That was Joe McCarthy there trying to get in there, steal that ball.
What's wrong with what he did, though?
I believe it was because the Irish player hadn't completely rolled away on the side of the Maori All Blacks. So because of that, they aren't actually allowed to contest because they consider that it's like an obstruction.
Because I never really understand the rules, because I always reckon there's that gap where a player goes down and support a rise where you can get in there, where the player's putting the ball out. Are you allowed to just go in there and try and take that? Like, see, I would have thought that would be a win ball. Like he's the same. He's sort of like, well, I won it, But,
and he kind of had about 3 goes. Got it. He'd have the ball. Carl would be like, no, and then he'd be like, how about now? No.
Yeah, no. I think he's pretty much.
I got it now.
He's very in denial about his disobeying with the ref, which is stupid. Because even if you believe you're in the right, if the ref says get out of it, you get out of it. Because you're just going to... Now they're getting hammered by...
DJ Peronata goes to work hard once again. Now it's a penalty to Ireland. The player coming in through the side, I believe it was Manakai Selby-Rickett who's been penalised. And now Ireland getting the penalty inside of the 22. And also we've got the McGilchrist side says, Ollie, and also we have got there who's going to score next. I think it's going to be the Maori All Blacks. We have seen a few more attacking plays from them recently.
They've got quite a lot of position. They're playing quite a lot of territory. Their forwards are sort of sinking in a little bit better.
It's Craig Casey in the back there still holding that elbow.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit more serious than he's letting on.
Trying not to be a bitch. I don't want to be a bitch.
Well, that's the thing. He's been told before this match, you're playing about 70 minutes. Yeah. So for him to go off now would put Conor Murray under a huge amount of pressure to play 60. Yeah. Let's get Weber on ASAP, says don't till death. And also I couldn't watch George on the wing. I couldn't catch George on the wing a few times. I was speed humps, says Nathan. Speed humps sounds like an interesting...
Nathan?
Nathan's in Australia, I think. But you did travel to Oz for your rugby career, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell people?
Yeah.
You can say anything online, can't you?
Yeah.
He's also an astronaut.
Yeah.
Spare time.
I work with Elon Musk. I provide him with the secretaries he wants to have twin children with. You hear about that? Elon Musk had twin children with one of his secretaries. What a man.
And also what stadium are the All Blacks playing on Saturday? They are actually going to be playing at the exact same stadium, Sky Stadium. And also we have got
I've got some naked HD futures here. I like what I see.
We go, and also I like the Maori All Blacks jersey, especially the front of it. It says Emerald there. Yeah, very nice one. At the moment, I believe it's actually on special.
Very even. There isn't a lot of play in the scrum.
Our nice pass off, Kieran Frawley.
Was, Interesting.
Rush defence there from the All Blacks, and it hasn't worked out. TJ Perenara has missed the tackle there. Nice low tackle made by Caleb Delaney, though. Now, Craig Casey goes short side.
Get out of it.
It's going to be Tom O'Toole getting one of his first carries of the match. Now, Kieran Frawley sells the dummy.
Good run.
Nice run forward. Couple extra metres made by the Leinster representative. Now, Jeremy Luckman gets close. And this is probably the most phases we've seen from Ireland in the last maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Good run forward from Prendergast.
And they are getting ground. They are moving gears here.
That's the thing. With so much slipperiness out there on the field, anytime you go into contact, you're slipping and you get that extra metre or so, don't you?
I got used an example for extra metres when I was at rugby. Because apparently when I ran with the ball, I was always good at getting extra metres.
Post-contact.
Post-contact metres, I was always really good at it.
Penalty to Ireland.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like being in the 4-pack, because you run it off the back of a ruck and you get, I love doing that.
And also we've got the black jersey claims the yellow for Taonga Fussy was harsh, and Ringrose, who was tackled off the ball, should have been the one yellowed. Embarrassed I'm breathing the same here as Connor Cahill. Wait, so he saw, I guess, did he say that Ringrose dove for that one? But at the end of the day, the one when Taonga Fussy ended up clipping Ringrose and he tackled him off the ball, which even if it's not a proper tackle, it's still playing a man off the ball. Obstruction, really.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what does he say?
He said that the fellow who got tackled off the ball should have got the yellow.
Right.
Which, I mean, I can see why that would be something on the mind. Because
I don't think the guy who got tackled should have got the yellow. I don't know if the yellow was... I feel like it should have been a penalty. I don't necessarily agree with the penalty try that they were considering. There was not definite evidence that could have got... I feel it could have actually been a forward pass, in all fairness.
It's a good kick down the middle, and now the score 5 points to 10 in favour of Ireland. Stretching out the lead just a little bit more after 25 minutes of this contest so far. 2 wrong calls against Maori from Dixon as well, says Dime Till Death. And I was what Hucker did the Maori ABs do? I think it was actually a little bit of a custom one.
Britney Spears song, isn't it?
No, not quite.
That yellow card, I don't think it was worth a yellow. I feel like yellows and reds should be reserved for intent. Your intention was to do such and such, and if that's the case, then you deserve a card. High tackles, intentions, I'm
still very pale. Distracted Sports, we do know it's a bit weird today for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's the light from, how bright it is outside, because it's currently not bright. But, it's different today than it has been in the past for some reason. So I think it's just might just be a bit weird for today. Hopefully it's all right by the weekend. Nice back line out to Kurt Eklund, and contradicts himself a lot. 1 week Bowden Barrett sucks, next week he's the GOAT, says Marco there.
Come on, boys.
But that's the thing. People online,
for God's sake,
sometimes
what were they doing?
Have a short memory, don't they?
Yeah. What's that?
With saying that one thing 1 week and then switching it the next because no one's going to remember. That's a yellow card for Prendergast.
What was that for?
I think he wasn't back 10 and he made the tackle. Prendergast, he was walking back out on the field.
That's a harsh one. I'm not going to agree with that one. That's a bit harsh. That's a warning. That's a penalty. That's not a yellow card offence.
Although it depends. I'm going to look at the replay here.
The All Blacks did tap it. You know what I mean? And that is just instinct kicking. He's going back. No, that's harsh. Come on.
Although he would have made a good extra 5 to 10 metres.
Yeah.
If he hadn't.
Yeah, I know, but it's not worth a yellow. It's definitely worth a
stolen
penalty.
By the Irish. Kieran Frawley. So I guess that's a little bit of redemption for it. That's a good kick, and that's just swirling. I think the wind's going from left to right.
Shit reefing is what that is. I'm gonna say this stuff because I believe in calling out refs for things that they do, because if you don't, then they,
Oh, you would have had a field day on the weekend, did you? There was some questionable reffing across the whole international board, wasn't there?
One ref is biased towards one team either. It just annoys the shit out of me.
Also over it. The All Irish deserved their historic victory as well, says Darren. Exactly right. And also we have got there, and as well, our first test, Ireland 15, held the Maori scoreless in the second half. The Maori needs to dominate this game, says Nathan. James he's very curious about what's going on downstairs for you.
What? Who?
He wonders about your pocket billiards.
My pocket billiards? Yeah. What's that?
He's trying to say that you're playing with your balls.
Am I?
And he's fantasising about
really,
it.
James. Well done, buddy. You're doing a good job.
28 minutes through.
Jack Cooney. there's been some questionable against both sides. It hasn't just been against Ireland. It's been against England, Australia. It's just in general. I don't think refs know what to do because they've been told one thing and now the fans are like, well, we don't agree. But a lot of decisions against the All Blacks have been very stupid as well.
And also, they turned down 3 penalties this time till death. And now Ireland have considered going for the corner as well with this one. And so I think I was interested in becoming a referee. Now I can forget about it. The respect for officials has deteriorated badly.
Yeah, no,
says Connor Cahill. Yeah, that's the thing though. They the problem is people look at the refs sometimes as the problem, but it's the way the rule books.
The union.
The way it's written.
The issue.
It's like one of those yellow or red cards a while ago. That was like the referee pretty much went, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But the way that the law book says, you get a red card now.
Yeah.
And that completely changed the game.
Yeah.
Now, only a couple of meters out, Craig Casey, and also you are funny guys, says Ed Smith, and also I haven't seen the England games to make a comment on the referee, says Jack there, and also Dirt Track is playing well. And close, Coombs, that's very close by Gavin Coombs. That's got to be over, doesn't it? The way he flattened out. That's very close.
One.
Oh, lost forward. We're going back.
Okay, cool.
Saying it's just short of the line. Ollie Norris might have had a finger under that ball.
Play. Yeah, the red card thing. That's one of the reasons why the Sands are brought in, that you can bring a player back on after. And I kind of agree with it, because you see some of the cards that they're dishing out for silly little things. It does ruin the game when one side's down a player. You know what I mean? So England and the Northern Hemisphere not wanting it, maybe now they'll disagree. Maybe now they'll go, yeah, I'm sure they would if they lost the games, to be honest with you. They go, yeah, maybe we should have our players brought back on because they got red carded for something stupid.
That was very close.
Yeah.
Scannell liked it. He was
like,
He was going like that, but now 5 minutes out from the line, the Irish once again are going to have another opportunity here. Goes straight in to Kieran Treadwell. Now, his leg's getting held there, so that needs to be very carefully watched.
What's that weird?
As Iwaka Leawere picked up his leg in the ruck, which you're not actually, or in the maul, which you're not allowed to do.
Yeah.
So touch judge on this near side, you'd have to say it's missed something there, but now they're getting close. Niall Scannell looks like once again it's going to be another advantage for in through the side. I think there might be, if that's up against Ollie Norris, that could be a card, but I don't think it is. So they might be a little bit lucky there. The Artie Savia situation was very confusing. So he's going to Gale right. Double blow the whistle. Side entry from Ollie Norris. I think this is going to be a yellow card for him.
He's just warning him.
Oh, just a warning. Okay, he's lucky. Ollie Norris.
Yeah.
Because if we watch the replay, that could have easily been a yellow.
Yeah.
And also, George, would you ever play rugby again?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's good, but it's also
taxing on the body, isn't it?
Yeah. Like we were at work the other day and we worked with this old guy called Graham. He's got all sorts of issues with his back because when he was younger he played rugby.
Oh. Can I have number one? It is going to be a yellow card to Ollie Norris.
So when it's a maul, you're not allowed to come in from the side.
There we go.
So what's the ruling around it?
So once they show the replay, Ollie Norris, he came in through the side and got under Scannell from an offside position to stop him from scoring. Like they said, it's not going to be a penalty try. It could have been close to one, but it's going to be a yellow card. So good work from the official on the near side. Sorry, that was just And Isaac Aaron Frawley in there. As I'll see, here it is. Wait for it. Watch Ollie Norris there. See, he didn't join it from the back of the maul.
Yeah.
So it's close to him coming in correctly, but he's still joined from just a little bit off.
Yeah. How are you supposed to shut down a maul, though?
That sucks. It's really hard
I don't understand it, though.
Because as soon as it goes down, normally you end up with
it just goes off to the side, and now they're all
out around the side. Good run from Luckman. Only 1 meter short now from the line. And Ireland looking good, and also go through the gate. I know half by go around the gate in there as well. Yeah. So if you go round it rather than through it, that's when it gets tricky. Now around the side, Tom O'Toole close. Once again, it's another advantage for offside here. And now reaching, he's got the try. Movement. Is it a double movement? No, it's not. They've said he's allowed one stretch, and Nick Timoney goes in and gets it as well. And also Kwasi has said try. And also we have good evening. It's just right fighting crime. What's the score? a 5-10 to Ireland, and now it is actually 15-5 to Ireland. And it's on, and also we have got there, they were scoring also. Where are you, Hamish and George? It's wet here at the stadium today. That's why not many bums and seats. So we are actually down south in South Canterbury, where we've actually had some flood warnings and all sorts in recent times. It was absolutely bucketing down today. Timony, there we go. See, for me, Nick Timony, if it wasn't for Jack Conan, would be off the bench for Ireland. But Jack Conan normally gets that nod a little bit further forward, and he doesn't really have 7 as an option. Reason for that is Josh Van den Fleur is just an absolute beast. You all right?
What?
You all right? You're just having a bit of a stretch,
You know what you guys should do? You got to check out the Kiwi Lads gaming channel.
Yeah.
Ah!
That one has gone down for the try, and now Kieran Frawley about to line up this kick here. 40 metres out with a 58% angle. Kieran Frawley, that's a decent strike, and it has gone over. So now the score going to be 17 points to Ireland and 5 to the Maori All Blacks.
The Maori All Blacks, what do you do now? Keep trying to do what you're doing? Or?
You got to fire back, really, because you're quite far behind.
They're trying to, but they just will not win the breakdown. They keep losing the ball.
Well, now that you're missing your loose here prop as well, it probably makes it a little bit more challenging. And as Van der Fleur Asafa says, Hanoi, not that I know of, but not too sure. It also is just having a good time, says Jack there. Also, we've got that Josh Van Fleur as a beast, correct, says Dalakilo. So, yeah, he's not getting taken out of that lineup up against the All Blacks. Just the way that he's played throughout the Six Nations and any other competition around the world.
Yeah, nah.
He's got to be a starting number 7. Going up high, and it's nicely taken now by the Irish that have been able to retain their own kick. Passing it back across now into the hands of Kieran Treadwell, 40 metres out from the line now for Ireland. That was a big clean out by Billy Harmon and a knock-on advantage. Now around the side, Caleb Delaney with a good run forward, breaking one tackle. Moving up to 15 metres out from the line now. Now the Alex Nankerveld goes back across to Billy Harmon. Gets a couple extra metres as well. It looks like he might start to get held up. No, they do have to release him. Now Perenara in the middle of the field.
Where's that going,
I think his hand got slapped down.
Yeah. What's the ref doing?
And he's not happy at the moment. He got the arm, and TJ Perenara still asking for the penalty, but Ireland able to turn it back over. And also Foster the Imposter says Darren, and also Crawley might make it in the main team. Penalty to Ireland. Player in through the side. Another one against Selby Rickett.
Yeah. TJ is pissed, and I would be too, in all fairness. I would be pissed off because the ref just ignored it. He saw it with his own eyes and just went, nah, I'm good.
TJ Perenara not too happy with that one.
And if he was, if it wasn't what happened, TJ wouldn't get that angry. So I think that is what happened. Yeah, no, that's stupid from the ref to give the penalty to Ireland. Look at the Irish. They're like, oh yeah, well, I'm from Cork. I like potatoes.
Nice.
So what's happening now?
40 seconds left of the yellow card for Ireland. 5 minutes left of the Maori All Blacks and it is a line out for Ireland. Going to be taken nicely by Ireland, starting to get the rolling maul going once again. Maori defending it not too badly currently, although now actually creeping through wherever the ball is. It's been dragged out the back by Craig Casey. Does put up the box kick, a little bit of pressure there on Sean Stevenson. Great step round Jimmy O'Brien. He has really got his hands full out on that wing step as well. From Stevenson, offload to Billy Harmon, who's got a great running game for an open side flanker. Now Perenara passes back and behind to Josh Ioane. Got to attack and run off to Nankerveld now once again, trying to back himself through a gap. But nicely tackled by Keith Earls. And also we have got there, let go, Ireland let go, says Donna.
Oh, come on,
and also, what you doing, Manakai? Come on, Guzzy. Double movement at their last try. Says believe that as well.
I find that with the Irish and the English, they don't do as much running rugby, but I have found that when they do start passing it around, they're a little bit more careful with it. New Zealand teams just
Cullen Grace.
They almost get excited. I feel like it's the way they learn to play rugby. They just know to make a break and just keep it going, and they just end up dropping it.
Perenara 15 out from the line now. Ioane goes to Morby. This could be a good attacking opportunity. Nankerveld puts it down, though. And it will now be scrum feed to Ireland. And didn't Manakai belt some bloke while out on the town? Something like that a little while ago. And also, you will have to buy a green KFC at this rate, says I'm nutty. Question, would you eat a burger that is completely green from KFC if it's supposed to be green? Because obviously, if it's green and it's not supposed to be green, you should probably return it very quickly.
Yeah.
But like,
wait, what? So if it's green but it's supposed to be,
like if the
still
buns,
meat?
Yep, still meat, still chicken, dyed green for the Irish.
Yeah, I'd eat it. I guess.
Yeah.
That
just reminds me of that SpongeBob episode. How they've got the multiple coloured Krabby Patties.
Oh, SpongeBob, biggest drug lord, man.
What, selling Krabby Patties?
Yeah, he's a drug addict. He's a drug lord. We all know Squidward is playing the big game. We all know Mr. Krabby, what's his name?
Mr. Krabby, Mr.
What's
Krabs.
his name? Mr. Krabs is just, he's a steamy little bugger. I have reasons to believe that boy is part of a bigger agenda. Drug dealing. Crack cocaine is what Mr. Krabs is involved in. Why else do you think he's like money? money. It's like, he's on crack. He's on cocaine. That man is on cocaine.
38.5 minutes through. At the moment, Craig Casey about to feed this ball in for Ireland, and they will look to just close out this half without too much trouble at all. I would think it's going to be a big kick downfield.
Named Mr. Krabs Amber Heard.
I'll take a nice lead by Morby as a little bit of a juggle. Sean Stevenson gives it off once again. Nankerville almost put it down again.
Yeah, no, he needs to sort that out. You've got to be ready for the ball. If you know that.
Down a ruck there from Ireland, that's going to be a penalty. Hands on the ground there.
I'm going to give you that one.
Well, it's Joe McCarthy.
Corrupt.
The number 4s have both been penalised multiple times.
Alex Nankerville needs to bloody have the hands up, man. Sort your shit out.
And Ireland on a roll. Says Richard there. They are indeed. And also, you should wear an Irish jersey on Saturday. We will when we win. Says Connor. I don't actually own an Irish jersey, but it might not be a terrible one to invest in.
We're an English jersey, so when they beat you in the Six Nations.
They lost against them last year.
Yeah, I know, but you know, that's how you annoy an Irishman. What was now I'm off subject. I was talking about Nankerville with the hands up. He's just like, there's a player near him that's like, okay, I'm in support, but he's not ready. He just keeps freaking out. Manakai
Selby Rickett takes that one nicely at line out time. Kurt Eklund starting to drive. There's only 5 seconds left in this first half already. We are almost at halftime in this fixture. Now Kurt Eklund considers going by himself. Gives it off to Perenara. Nankerville now tries to bump through the tackle of Kieran Frawley. He's been shut down pretty well early on, and I believe now McCloskey, he was actually involved in that last one. Good run from TJ Perenara. Nick Toomey, he almost knocked that one free, though, and it's stolen by Ireland. Forwards. Once again, getting the ball back, looking for the offload. He does find it in the end. Brilliantly done now. Gavin Coombs, the big Munster man. And I would think for Ireland, you just kick this ball into touch. When you're Craig Casey, he kicks it out, and Ireland at halftime are going to be leading this game 17 points to 5. Brilliantly done. And also we have got there Oosh England. Never shut up about winning the 2003 Rugby World Cup, says Steve there. And also y'all paint y'all hoodies light green, says Nazi Williams. And also punishment should be drinking pint of Guinness, says Darren. Although that probably wouldn't be a punishment, would it? That would probably go down quite.
Shit. Guinness.
You just know you've offended like a whole country of people.
Sorry, but make it better. Come on.
Are you sure you're getting like the genuine, like the good stuff?
I've had it and I hate it. I don't like all beer, man, but Guinness.
That is true. We should clarify he doesn't enjoy beer.
Guinness. Yeah. I don't drink beer, but Guinness isn't good.
You know how to offend the whole nation in one statement, don't you?
I don't care.
That's the problem sometimes. You know? You don't get the aftermath. No. You get to go home. And also, I have to agree, can't stand Guinness, says Steve there. Also, it does, says Nazi Williams. And also, we have got the Kakariki. And then 66 was England, says Darren. There's over halftime in this contest. You'd have to say that the Maori All Blacks definitely started better in the first, you'd say, 15 minutes of this contest. They were playing at a tight tempo. Yeah.
They are their own worst enemy, I think, a bit. They're dropping the ball a little bit too much. And they're not supporting each other in the breakdown. The Irish are getting in there too early, and they know that, so they'll just keep doing it. And they get good ground, and they get momentum, but then they lose the ball at the breakdown for a penalty, or they just get it ripped off them. So.
Any good Irish pubs nearby in Canterbury? Actually, there is one.
There's one in Christchurch.
There's one in Timaru.
Is there?
Yep. I'm just going to make sure it is an Irish pub.
I don't know if it is.
The Old Bank.
That's not an Irish pub.
Isn't it?
I don't think so.
I think it's not too far off.
I've been there quite a few times. I mean, they put on a bit of a thing for
St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah, but I don't think it's an Irish pub.
Oh, they've actually changed it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's now a cafe and bar. It did used to be an Irish pub.
Yeah.
Like probably 10 to 15 years ago. Used to be a great one.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like I used to go when I was like 7.
Yeah.
I used to got on the rack with the boys,
Yeah.
After the game of Ripper Rugby, we went in and we down pints and pints and pints,
Have you ever been drunk, Hamish?
Not completely past the point of being unconscious. Blackout, as they call it. And Darren, the football team won in 1966, and they never shut up about that too. And also Screwdriver the best. Wait, Screwdriver the best? Says Spider McBean, also not the long white, says Marco Vanapola. And Guinness is a stout, not a beer, but I get you, says Richard there. And also seriously, the Irish number 9 is a bodysuit full of leprechauns. See, I'm noting in USA versus Chile, who wins? How much will Tonga beat Hong Kong by? I think Tonga beat Hong Kong, but not by a huge margin. I think it's going to be close, like maybe about 10 to 15 points difference, which sounds like a decent margin at like a big level game, but it's only like a couple tries difference. And also we have got there, that's what I meant. We got 97, 29, 11, 2015 best team, 1995, says Darren, and also Chocolate and the old.
What team's that?
New Zealand. No. Yeah, to New Zealand it would be for the World Cup wins.
Yeah.
And also we have got what about Knight wins that? Says Marco, I don't think we've got too many of those around here.
What strippers?
Well, is it Booby Night? No.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Unless it's like
this is horrible.
What, the ad?
They kill their own type.
A little butterfly. No, they don't mind.
It's like us running over a human being and going, oh, well.
they're like beetles or ladybirds or something.
But how small is that ladybug? Yeah.
And also we're going to imagine every Northern team won this weekend and clinched the series. Hello, Mum. Is the old bank in Timaru, was that an Irish pub at one point?
I don't know if it's...
Or were they just Irish?
Well, they could have been. That was a pretty popular pub back in the day. It still is. Good meals.
Now a cafe as well, I learned.
Oh, yeah, no, they've had meals there for ages. When I was working in Timaru, this is how long ago that was. We used to go there for lunch. Friday, have a rum and coke with that meal and go back to work.
Wait, you used to drink at lunchtime and then go back to work?
It's only one rum and coke. That was when they would actually pour it into glasses.
Also, can happen, go Wales. 8 box as well. See, there's Darren there. And also lost in South Africa. Our best team in 1995. And imagine being every Northern team won this week and clinched the series, says Kawasi. It would be a massive achievement for the Northern Hemisphere. And it would certainly build momentum for them heading forward. If that's the winger, I didn't realise how small of an individual. No, that wasn't Jordan. I think Michael Lowry's a very small man. Like, he's at fullback for this game, but he looks a bit bigger. And also, Donna pops up, and just as we're talking about titty night, says, Sebastian, they were asking where all the good titty bars are around here.
Oh, George probably knows that.
No, I don't know. I don't know. As far as I know, there isn't one in Timaru.
No.
As far as I know.
And also, the Old Bank was a good bar originally. There's Obi and also hello, Hamish, to Mum from Lena. Lena, hopefully I said that correctly. Lena and me, Hamish. So that was from Bob in Lower Hutt.
Oh, okay.
Currently, lineouts one, we've seen 6 from the Irish, 5 from the Maori All Blacks, and also meters gained over 265 compared to the 111 of the Irish. So a lot more meters made by the Maori ABs. 18 missed tackles in the first half from Ireland, which is a little bit higher than they would have liked. But of course, with the slippery conditions, it's pretty easy to fall off a tackle. And George, don't conceal valuable information. Says Sebastian there. And also we have got there, if the Barrett brother went overseas, what clubs would they go to? Japan would probably be calling for Bowden again.
Yeah.
Whether or not he goes to Suntory or goes somewhere else. Geordie Barrett, I can see doing well. And I would say England, Geordie Barrett would do quite nicely.
English won't offer enough money.
No.
For those sorts of guys, it's France or Japan.
Yeah, Scott Barrett's a French. He'd be France, wouldn't he?
You reckon?
Yeah, because of that big physicality
in terms of England, like, they could never get someone like Daniel Carter.
No.
Because they just didn't have the money. There are a lot of All Blacks that do go to England, but I think that's not necessarily money. It's because they don't want to learn a new language, or I would personally go to England because I like England. I've never been there, but
you like it,
yeah,
don't you?
I wouldn't really want to go. I'd go to England and then maybe do a season in France, and then you know what I mean. But yeah.
So Sean Stevenson, 1 try, 9 carries, 62 meters gained so far. So anytime he puts on that Maori AB's kit, he just shines.
Yeah,
Sean Stevenson, and hopefully the second half is just around the corner for him. Maybe he does go well, because if he does, might get the Maori ABs back into this contest. But they're currently 12 points down at halftime. Looks a bit cold, doesn't it?
Oh, they think it's cold, but they live in Wellington, so it's not really cold.
Oh, that pie looks all right, though.
Yeah,
all right there. It's a
fatty.
It's kind of one of those ones how big, how it's like you're allowed to say it because
I'm fat.
Well, it's like you were bigger than him. So there you go. Kevin Mialamu going to be fighting on Thursday or next Thursday. You want to watch that fight? Kevin Mialamu?
Who's he fighting?
Fella.
Himself?
Can't quite remember, unfortunately. It's one of those ex-rugby guys, though, or ex-maybe league guys. Yeah, it's going to be going on. And also, boys, and also we need pies, says Nazi. And also, it's pissing down here in Wellington tonight, says Bob. Yeah, it's a rough day, that is for sure. There's plenty of money here in the UK, but we do struggle to get those bigger players, or the big-name players, says Steve there. I think the Gallagher Premiership, is it just me, or in the last 3 or 4 years, has it really, it's still on the up, isn't it?
Yeah, well, since COVID, their salary cap's gone down a lot. They don't really have the millionaires pushing shit, so...
Because, that's the thing. We will quite happily get up at 5 a.m. to watch a match-up taking place in the Gallagher Premiership between Northampton Saints and Gloucester or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like a couple of years ago, I don't know if I'm the only Kiwi who gets up for those games.
It's more I think Super Rugby's going down a bit and European Rugby's rising. Yeah, I think that's sort of what's happening a bit.
You might not like Guinness, but you like McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's is good in it. Although it's one of those ones that the novelty of it kind of does wear off a bit at times, doesn't it?
What's that, McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I like McDonald's, but I don't love McDonald's. KFC.
And also, George France offers you $2 million a year, but you can't play for the ABs or play for the ABs and only get $300K a year. What are you choosing?
That depends on where you are in your career. $2 million a year, that's a lot of money in rugby terms. You'll be the highest paid player in the world. Dan Carter only got 1.4.
Do you know what my logic was?
What's that?
When he asked me that question, I said I'd take the money in France because once they see how bad I am, the All Blacks aren't selecting me anyway.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm just cashing out on $2 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta get it while it's there.
Yeah.
And also remember when KFC party pack was $19. Jeez, that would have been before my time. I remember when you used to be able to get chicken popcorn or popcorn chicken that wasn't this big. Like a regular popcorn chicken you can get now is that big. Whereas you used to be able to get it the same size as the chips.
Yeah.
And it used to be a fun time. After rugby or something, you go there, you down some KFC and be like, geez, I've earned this. Touched the ball twice in the season. But boy, have I earned this.
Yeah.
So it happens when you got your star fly half and dad's the coach, isn't it? Hey?
Yeah.
You don't get... That sounds like my dad was the coach. No, I was out on the wing. I didn't touch the ball.
When did you play rugby?
Under 9s, I think it was. I only played for a couple seasons, touched the ball twice and went, well, this is a waste of time. Yeah. I could be not here and they'd still have the same result.
Yeah.
You'd just be tackling. It was just tackling practice.
Yeah, I hated that, I remember that.
KFC corn.
Wanting the ball. Never getting the ball.
But you weren't allowed to go searching for it either.
No,
if you did what Severese does.
I had a coach who told me, as fullback, I am not allowed to come into the back line to receive the ball. I just stay back there. One day, my dad said, that's bullshit.
He was probably the same coach, was he?
No, he was just a dick. He said, stay back there. I'm like, do not walk me in the line where they got the ball. Said, no, because they lose the ball. And then they run. And then you're not back there. I'm like, what's the difference? In the line, out of the line? And Dad was like, why aren't you in the line? I was like, I'm not allowed in the line. He goes, well, get in the line. I'm like, he won't let me. He said, do it anyway. So I did. And
then you got subbed.
Then I learned that there's really nothing he can do about it because we had no players. So I just did what I wanted. I could say his name, but I don't want.
I'm trying to remember who your coach was back in the day.
It was old.
What does his last name start with?
H. Well, there was two of them.
Wait a minute. Last name starts with H.
Yeah. There's two of them. That was
my coach started with H as well.
Well, who was it?
It ends with a gender or a sex.
No, I don't know.
Man.
Oh. No, I don't think we're talking about the same guy.
No?
Mine were farmers.
Okay.
Was yours a farmer?
Yeah. I just say Heyman.
That was mine as well. But mine was Oliver as well. Him and Heyman, Oliver and Heyman did my under 14s and a half.
This was mine.
Yeah.
Like, that was my.
Yeah.
So was the son still in your team?
Yeah.
Where was he playing? Was he fly half?
No, yeah, he was fly half. This is before he went to Christchurch, and then you had Oliver's son.
We're learning so much.
He was in the 4-pack.
Mm.
There was another under 13s. He was, yeah.
I still remember playing in a game with your cousin, and he got punched in the balls.
Yeah.
Because they had some dirty tactics in the scrum.
Yeah.
They were like, we know because you know how big your cousin used to like be in terms of height compared to all the kids.
Yeah.
Bloody hated trying to tackle him at practice.
Yeah.
But like this kid was like, right, I know how to deal with him.
Yeah.
Smack him straight in the gonads.
Yeah. Probably from tomorrow.
Yep.
Teaching bad skills down there, don't they?
Yeah. Right, half time almost over, and we've already learned that we had the same coach that put us off rugby.
You had the same coach in under 9s. I went through to him under 10s, under 13s.
Yeah.
You know.
You were just a bit slower to catch on to the fact that he was not the coach for you.
Well, so the under 14s and a half thing was he was still in the club, but when the actual coaches were playing for the senior Bs and As, they would coach, so would get Heyman and Oliver from the under 13, so they would come up and coach us. And it was on those days when they would be like, you're at 15, you stay at 15, you don't come in the line. And I just did what they said, and Dad doesn't like them. He doesn't like the two of them, so he already knew them. So when I told him that these two fellas were telling me that I can't come in the line, and Dad was like, I don't know what this means, but you're not getting the ball, he said, just do it anyway. I was like, yeah, but they might get angry. He's like, what are they going to do? They don't have enough players as it is. We literally didn't have anyone on the bench. You're on the field, you're playing the whole game. And he said, apart from Alderton.
And also, we were there fly half, you mean halfback? No, fly half is in first 5, number 10, not 9. Yeah. For that one. So first receiver, and then for me, back in my day, we also had someone with the last name Johnson as halfback.
Yeah.
You know?
Johnson.
Yeah.
I'd have to know the first name.
First name starts with L.
Oh, yeah.
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 So we had those two. They didn't pass.
Yeah. No.
Like, I was on the wing because I wasn't very big.
Yeah.
And I just didn't touch the ball.
Remember the coach going, George, get back. And I just didn't do it. And he was like, get back. And he was like, go away. Stop talking to me.
Second half underway now. And the Maori All Blacks have got this one.
Tuesday training, and the coaches were asking me. I told them, they were like, did you tell him to fuck off? I was like, no, I didn't tell him to.
Did you tell them to slightly leave you alone? It's a bit of terminology on a PG stream. Now, TJ Perenata goes back to Josh Ioane. Our runner forward. It's a big shot on him by Jeremy Luckman.
Very card?
No. Around the chest, that one. Cullen Grace joining the breakdown alongside big Tamaiti Williams already out there on the park, 6'5", 140 kgs.
What did the Maori All Blacks need to do to actually get a try?
Penalty to Ireland, not away penalties. Yeah.
Oh, well, that might be another free for Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like rucks.
Also, we've got there, George's cousin sounds like a big, hardy farmer lad. Drank plenty of milk and meat on the farm and is a beast. That'd be a good way to describe him.
He's a linesman.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he actually? I didn't know that.
He lives in Australia now.
Like semi-professional linesman or like professional linesman?
Like fully qualified linesman.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I haven't talked to him since like the ball, I think. Yeah. The last time I saw him.
Yeah. Also,
I didn't want to leave Amsterdam. Sucks, man. Bye, Kakariki. Call me later, blondie girl, says Nathan there. He saw Black Caps match versus Ireland. Michael Bracedale, record-breaking innings, chased 20 runs in the last over. Yeah, they only just won it. New Zealand up against the Irish. And that's one. So I guess close matches happening all round.
Yeah.
Overall sports. So this is going to be Kieran Frawley now lining up. I said this last episode, great commentary chemistry, reckon yous can go far, says Nazi Williams. Although right from the start, we said George is going to get us cancelled at some stage.
No.
And we're going to have to try and rebuild from there. We're still waiting for that moment, though, aren't we? We said that if the news team ever showed up, he'd say something live on air that gets us.
Yeah, but that's what gets you the people as well. You know, saying shit that people disagree with.
It's going to be over, and now 20 points to 5
nah, don't
at
know.
the moment.
Oh, Maori All Blacks aren't in this.
No,
they are
they're
not
struggling.
even in this.
2 converted tries and something.
They are not winning the breakdown. They are losing the ball, penalties, losing it. They just need to face up, you know.
Now that's going to be a knock-on by Ireland.
Like, they didn't jump on it, so now it's their ball.
Okay, Tamaiti Williams got 1 minute because Caleb Delaney was off the field because Ollie Norris was out there.
Right.
Now, I should say. So his yellow card is finished, so now it's 15 on 15.
So the Maori All Blacks have now got the ball. It's in their half. Now let's see how long they have it for, whether or not they can make good ground, whether or not they can actually do something, or they lose it. Let's see what happens.
See, the big thing here is the meters gained running the ball is actually more for the Maori All Blacks.
They do good when they've got it, but they're not winning the breakdown enough.
But their big difference is Ireland have made up those extra meters in kicking.
Yeah.
And the Maori All Blacks haven't been able to capitalise.
It's like, I think it's Justin Marshall or John Kirwan. It always says, if you want to win a rugby game, you have to win the little battles. Rucks.
Beautiful one. Oh, Bailey's put it down.
See, there you go. You have to win the little things to win the game. Rucks, lineouts, scrums. You have to win those. The backs can't do it. It's all down to the forwards.
Starts at the set piece.
Yeah, that's all. If you can win the most of those, then you're going to be dominant during the game, and that will equal in points. But,
and a
Kira
at 12. Kira Ioane at 12 would be an interesting one. I'd like to see Artie Savia in the back line at some stage. It won't ever happen, but when people talk about forwards converting, I feel like he would go all right.
Yeah.
Because he's got enough pace to be able to do decently. But 7 handling errors here for the Maori ABs compared to the 5 of Ireland. Guys, Argentina or Scotland. I think Scotland, after the way that they won that last match, should be able to do it again. Although Argentina, they've got Pablo Matera returning, and they say one player can't change a game, but he can certainly up the tempo for Argentina. And Zan Sullivan has missed massively there as Foster's son, Māori, no disrespect, says Nazi Williams. Does Ian Foster have a son?
I don't know.
I didn't know he had a son, sorry, Nazi.
So let's see what they do here. They'll kick it.
Sean Stevenson now.
No.
Looking to counter, passes off to Josh Morby. Got to run forward now.
He's had a good few runs this game.
Always does. Plays at Sky Stadium normally as well. Now backline, Conagana Bishop off to Caleb Delaney. Down the wing he goes, back in the pace, offload. Was that tackle before he had the ball?
It might have been.
He's not too happy as well. He's going to be pushing him around. He's asking for the penalty. He's asking the touch judge as well, and it's a knock-on against the Maori All Blacks.
So whose ball is it? Let's see if this ref's got some double standards.
They're going to check it.
We saw a red card get dished out earlier in the week.
They're going upstairs to check this one. It should have been made a 12 off the get-go.
You can see the Maori All Blacks are starting to get touchy with the ref. And this will be down to what happened with TJ. They're starting to distrust him a little bit. This is when you end up with the ref getting shitty at the Maori All Blacks. So you can just tell things are, he's under pressure right now.
Okay.
And he knows it. Look at him. He's like,
so they are checking to see whether or not Connor Garden Bishop was tackled before the ball got there.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to recard old mate earlier in the week for that, that's at least a yellow.
Okay, definitely yellow card is the call. They're trying to decide whether or not it would have been a penalty try. For me,
no, it wouldn't have been a try.
He wouldn't have got to the try line.
He would have gotten tackled. There's no doubt about that. But is it worth a red?
I don't think it's a red. It's a yellow for me.
I say, but earlier in the week, did they give it a red because there's a chance he would score?
They gave it yellow for Ofa Tuangafasi.
Oh, that's right. They did. It wasn't a red.
And Akira and Sevens was more dangerous than Artie and Sevens wasted potential by Fat Hansen, says Lex Six, and also Sam Kane as Foster's son-in-law.
Yeah.
Cheers, Spider Mick. They're saying it's going to be a penalty try here.
No, I don't agree with that. It wasn't going to score.
So penalty try yellow card is what they are going with. And because of that, it's an easy conversion, which wouldn't have been the case initially. So the difference there, they've said, is because he did actually pass the ball and Connor Garden-Bishop caught it. That's the difference between the one between Sexton and Ringrose and Tuanga Fasi, because he's actually passed that ball physically. Exact same thing happened. Sexton didn't give it nothing. But the difference, like they said, the reason it's a difference is because Sexton didn't pass the ball. He only sold the dummy as if he was going to. So they couldn't guarantee that Ringrose was going to catch the ball. So that's the way that it's kind of written in the law book.
No, that's purpose. So, I don't necessarily agree with the penalty try, but the yellow is 100% fair. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And also, there was no red card for off the ball challenge in last week's match, says Karen. And there, so just the yellow given in the penalty try. I love the channel I'm from. Says Jaja Binks, mata. And there as well.
Oh, he's nice smart.
Huh?
He's getting smart.
Oh, not you, Jaja Binks?
No. Number 14 or something?
Well, I think it was Connor Garden-Bishop. Now the All Blacks, or the Maori All Blacks, backing up, but they've given away the ball straight away in Ireland. They'll be aggressive here. Yeah. That's going to be a rolling maul.
Held up.
And now they're going to shut that one down, and it will be a scrum for the Maori All Blacks. Says Steve. And also Sexton couldn't pass when Ringrose was taken out. Says Karen there as well. Although because of the fact, like, that's the thing. All it is literally a little sentence in the law book that says if the pass has been made and the player catches the ball, that adds a little bit more of the factor on top of it. Yeah. Like, it's kind of dumb when you think about how
he would have gotten close.
Yeah, but he wasn't making it to the line, was he?
No, but...
Because if he didn't tackle him early, he would have just tackled him when he got the ball.
Yeah.
So the penalty try, I think, is a little bit
I don't agree with the penalty try,
but the yellow card is the same as... And they actually said that for the Sexton one, there was cover, which I didn't necessarily agree with either.
What was that?
That someone was going to be able to make the tackle, like, back further.
Well, no, there wasn't.
I don't think...
Yeah. The only thing I would have argued with would have been whether it was forward or not. You know? That would be the only thing that I said that would make it not a penalty try, was whether or not that pass was going to be forward. Because you've got to remember, he was flat when he would look like he was going to get it by the time he receives it. You know what I mean? So. And
come on, the Maori All Blacks. Says Rugby actually, are you still covering State of Origin? I am indeed. I believe it will be myself and Dad tomorrow night that we are going to be doing. Hey, does old mate next to you know Ricky Mould? That's my cousin. I swear I saw him at his 21st a few years back.
I don't know Ricky Mould. No.
No?
No.
Don't know Ricky?
No. Ricky, well, I know Ricky, but I don't know his last name. I don't think I've ever been to such Ricky's 21st. I don't know him that well.
Perenara goes back to Caleb Delaney a little bit behind him. I don't even know if Delaney was actually the recipient of that pass initially in Perenara's mind, but it looks like it is going to be a box kick from Perenara. Goes to the left side. Oh, beautifully taken there. And that was very nicely done by Jimmy O'Brien. And also our Elon security looked hotter than amber. And also, if that prick is even washing the Maori All Blacks, making the boys tea or cutting the oranges, we will be finished. And there is and that is to do with Ian Foster. And they're a little bit earlier on. Now, Frawley goes for the kick. There's a random ball that's gone up in the air, just practicing a little bit. And as Bundyaki injured, haven't seen him in a while. I think the reasoning is he came on the field for Gary Ringrose in that match 3 days ago. And the reason that he's not playing in this match, whereas he did captain the Irish in the last matchup that they did play up against the Maori All Blacks, I believe the midfield combo is Henshaw 12, Bundyaki number 13, or vice versa, which is why he's not playing in this game. Good luck tackle on Caleb Delaney there by Nick Timoney, turning around the legs. Now TJ Perenara once again going to be going for another box kick, and me brother Elon slayed him. Top G says it was a Marco Vanapola, and also come on the Murray Ski Kaha. Says David the Mod there.
Maori All Blacks are under some pressure. That's still in their half. Now the Irish will just run this.
And the thing is, Ireland have got a man disadvantage, haven't they?
Yeah.
But it's that big question of whether or not I just cracked over a Waikato long neck up the Silver Fern and Lamar. Lama is a huge blow, says Jack Cooney there. So now it looks like they are making a couple more changes here.
Book.
Ready to go. So did Lama go off earlier on in this half? Earlier on in the match, I guess I should say, because he was out on the wing at the start of this match and did actually manage to score himself the first try of this contest. I've just realised I haven't really been updating the try scorers because the penalty try didn't actually write. And also, what's the deliberate knock on? Hamish in there as well. See Spider Meek. So it's a little bit different in the law book than the tackle without the ball, but it's still like a long kind of written process.
They're getting somewhere now.
Naughty try. It came in about the 43rd, didn't it? Like this, McCarthy, nice run forward here. Once again, the Irish looking to attack 50 minutes through this contest here. There we go. And there we go. And go Maori AB, says Clayton there, and that penalty try was a disgrace. Says Jack there. Yeah, we weren't certain it should have been a penalty try. In fact, we weren't even feeling it should have been, but the yellow card is fair enough, seeing as how similar it was to the Offa Toinga Fussy one. And to show old mate next to you, Noah Sean Mould instead. I swear he looks so familiar, says Jar Jar Binks. Which region of the country are you from, Jar Jar? Because that might clear it up a little bit.
I just said that was something from the Maori All Blacks. They need to do that a little bit more often.
Kick it in behind and just chase hard.
Well, they won the ball, which is what I was meaning. Yeah, you got that away.
Prendergast, number 6, gave that an almighty heave because Craig Casey's sitting on his bottom at the moment.
Yeah.
Or in fact, that was Michael Lowry. They did try and take that one quickly. The Maori All Blacks and Lacey, your whites in your eyes, your Maoris, Hukana Zon. Says Marco from the polls. That was marginally racist.
What's it? Yeah.
Sean Stevenson linking up with Connor.
Who's got a whites in their eyes, Marco Vanapola? Every human. You've got whites in your eyes, Hamish. I can see them.
Oh, yeah. I was feeling the middle
what
part.
What are you doing?
Well, I was thinking my pupil and my iris and whatnot.
Different eyes. So they're the same.
Tide is turning. Says that Ronnie there as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all came down to they ripped the ball off the Irish and kicked it down, and now they've got the ball in the Irish's half. But let's see what happens, because they were here, 10 minutes ago, and they dropped it. So let's see what happens. If they're going to get the ball ripped off them. Because you've got to remember, with the Irish and the English, their forward ruck play is what they're good at. Getting over that ball and getting that ball. Because in the Six Nations, that's literally the game. It's what they professionalise in.
Brad Weber on the field now for Perenata as well. Early change for the All Blacks. Zai Walker
come on. What are we doing to stand here? Pass it or get down.
Now Joshuani off to Morby, who did join the line.
That's a bit high for number 12 from Ireland.
Although it's about coming, it's now a rolling ball. All they need to do is keep this ball in. Although Conagard and Bishop's doing very well to keep that one moving, and the ball has come out, although it's a little knock on the ground from Ioane.
Come on.
And too many rules trick the game, says Spider Meek there, and also come on, Marty AB says, I love mum there. And also, that's what I meant, sorry, brother, says Marco Vitabola. And there's, what is this part of your eye called?
I don't know. No idea.
It's not the pupil and it's not the iris. Is it the urethra? No, that's somewhere else in the body that we don't actually have. I think it starts with E. The air.
I don't know.
Air.
Eye?
The eye, that'll be it.
TJ's like, this is all I can do.
TJ's looking a little bit sore at the moment. Cornea and retina. Retina, I think, was the one that I was thinking of. And the cornea. Hey, tell you what, we know all of the... Well, they know all of this stuff. Right? But also, hold on to the ball. You egg, says Buttermeek. Yeah, as well. And it's not over, says Darren. Yeah, still plenty of time left. 8 minutes difference between them. And also, you have... no, you do have a urethra, my friend. Wait, where's the urethra?
I have a feeling it's
downstairs. Yeah. Maybe I do have one. And also, don't do drunk haka disrespectful. Says Darren there. And also, we've got the epidermis. Says Beanie. And also, we've got the yori time.
I saw drunk English people doing haka. And they got ripped apart by...
Oh, connects your bladder to your pee-pee. There you go.
Yeah.
We learn something new every day. And also, retina, I think it was retina that I was thinking of.
Retina's like in the back.
Isn't
that the bit that connects it to the brain? I want to cut that off.
I need me a Kiwi girl, one that can cook me eggs so I don't have to say where they are.
What? You have to say where the eggs are. Cook your own eggs.
And a little dish more like it. Says it was Spider there. And also, it's like, and boys start to get excited, says James.
I'm enjoying this, but the Maori All Blacks just aren't, just not getting in there enough.
I think
they were doing really well.
Play from the Irish coming up soon.
Yeah.
I think they play this.
All
That's a big push.
Really good scrum from the Maori All Blacks. But they're not competing at the breakdown at the ruck. They're just not doing it enough. They're not trying to win the ball. I feel like they know they probably can't, but they're also dropping it, losing it. You know, they're not getting enough position. Ideally, it is. A lot of people say, "Oh, they play bad," but I actually think it's the other. I think the other team plays so well to the point where your team's usual things that they get well don't work as good. So it looks like you're playing badly.
Gerald has said, honest, can the All Blacks win this? They've got a crack. There's still 26 minutes left, which is definitely the big
one more
benefit
try,
for them. Yeah.
And they're in there, but they have to get the ball in their half, in this half.
Okay, we've had no issues up to now, was the comment from the referee. Dixon, he's not too happy with scrum time at the moment.
The All Blacks need to put more pressure on the Irish to make mistakes, but they can't do that if they're treating the ruck like it's a part-time thing. You know, that's their biggest issue. The ruck forms, and there's just guys who aren't necessarily getting involved.
And come on, Ireland, says Tony Rowe in there as well. Yeah, Jordan Lama only going to be off the field for another about 45 seconds, in fact. And then he will be able to make his way back out. And also, hate scrum penalties, illogical. Says
I don't
there.
understand them, to be honest.
Great Casey puts the ball in. Going to be available at the back. It's a decent push from the Maori ABs, but they weren't able to get the Irish on the back foot. Now Frawley goes off. It's a little kick in behind from Lowry, who tried to get it going forward. Brilliant take from Connor Garden-Bishop, though, to slow it down. And now Brad Weber gets that one across to Billy Harmon, the Highlanders representative, tries to spin out of the tackle. He makes a huge amount of tackles throughout Super Rugby Pacific. Now Isaiah Wakaleawere goes back to Josh Morby. What can he create? He's created many things on this ground for the Hurricanes. And now could be the perfect time to do so. Cullen Grace runs hard at the line. Just charges caution to the wind at Treadwell.
Got to get it quicker than that.
40 metres out from the line there, and that is a big difference. That was brilliantly taken by Connor Garden-Bishop because that was slipping out of the hands. Billy Harmon looks like he's a little bit slow getting back up. Norris goes down still 40 metres out. Come on, says Nicholas there, and it's a penalty to Ireland once again in the breakdown.
Were half the forwards in there. That was way too easy for him.
Brilliant
Seriously. Good work to the Irish. I'll do the exact same bloody thing.
If
no one wants to join the ruck, and just go over and grab it. God damn. There's also the clean-out technique from one of the Maori All Blacks. He was just way off. He didn't target the main man.
What happens here? I know that...
He goes down.
Okay.
Old mate comes in, but he doesn't clean him out of the way.
So, Cullen
he knows
Grace...
that. That's just technique. He's like, how do I teach these guys how... It's too easy.
So initially it was Lomax who was in there. First of all, Cullen Grace, he did what he had to do, and he took the guy out.
Yeah.
But then the problem was no other forward was there, so he then had to go from making that and then going back in to try and clean out the next guy.
No support. If you don't want the ball, then don't bother.
You'd have to argue, though, as well, walk penalty now to the All Blacks. Maybe that was because Billy Harmon was a bit injured.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe he was a bit slow, but you'd still expect your number 6, Caleb Delaney. Now Brad Weber starts to run. He's starting to crawl forward if he has to, just to make the meters, and also Morby off the field for Ruben Love. That is a big change to make there.
Keep it going. Speed it up.
Now Weber off to Tamaiti Williams. Nice pass off to Balin Sullivan. And also it is 20 or 12:20, says Tony Rowe. It is indeed. Only 56 minutes through on Strange Point. Also we have got there, Just Woke Up sounds that it's Paul Game who stands out for the Maori and how Irish outer half playing. If you get a chance to say as well, says Porter. So welcome in, mate. Hope you are having decent morning of weather there in Ireland. It was absolutely bucketing down earlier on at the game.
Yeah.
So that is why they have
not your everyday cultist.
and a little bit of trouble. And Morby, Josh Morby, he did go off the field.
So just there, they had ball. They got the penalty. They had quick ball. Weber was a bit slow, but then he sped it up, and they couldn't keep up. They dropped the ball. They knocked it on. They weren't ready. These are things that coaches cannot teach. If this coach is being criticised for this team not winning, it's not his fault. He shouldn't have to teach these guys how to play like not someone. You know what I mean? This is stuff they learn in high school. Basics. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the same sort of thing with Ian Foster. They didn't lose because the strategy wasn't good enough. They lost because they just weren't applying. You know? And
also for the players in the Maori All Blacks side who have done very nicely, I'd say Josh Morby is one who stood up. Connor Garden-Bishop's been pretty decent in this contest as well. And then in the 4-pack, you'd have to say Who would you have to say? Caleb Delaney off the bench has been pretty solid, number 20. And Cullen Grace hasn't been terrible either.
Not enough aggression from any of them.
And also, who was the best player for Ireland in this game so far? I would have said probably Nick Timoney.
Yeah.
He has been sensational at number 7. And then also another player on the back line who has been doing pretty decently. It was actually, what's his face? Jordan Lamar, until he got the yellow card. He was looking very solid, scored the first try of the match for the Irish. And also we got there Morby with a few confused faces. Once again, yeah, Josh Morby, you know him? Or don't know him, maybe? He was one of the leading try scorers in Super Rugby Pacific, that guy. Got selected. He was on debut for this game.
Yeah.
There's little chances we're only there, and also only 8 down. Loads of time. Yes, Murray can still win this, says Darren. And yeah, they have still got a very good chance of being able to win, but they will need to be the next team to score, I would think, to be able to have a good chance. But now the scrum going in. Big push there from the Maori All Blacks. Back to Kieran Frawley now. McCloskey gives it off to Keith Earls, who's also been pretty solid. He actually helped set up that try, Jordan Lamar. Our ball on the inside. Almost considered offloading it there. Well, number 4. Oh, that was great hands from McCloskey because Keith Earls had slipped there. Is Keith Earls playing well? He is, yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the opportunity to either come off the bench.
That was a bit of a stupid thing to do.
That kick downfield.
Why did he do that? Why did he kick it?
Kieran Frawley, it's back in the hands of the Irish.
God,
Give him plenty of height on that one.
20 points to 12.
Well taken.
Half. You just wouldn't kick that away, I don't think.
Sean Stevenson as well has had a good game.
Shit, yeah, mate. Why would
that one's gone straight into touch from Connor Garden Bishop.
Stuff that guy.
Come on, we want a Southern Hemisphere sweep. Says not your everyday cultures. And also, do you think Kyrgios would be a good rugby teammate? Says Hanoi. He gets a bit angry, I think, overall.
No, he's a bit of a loser. Great guy, but a bit of a loser.
Did he win Wimbledon in the end, or did Djokovic?
No, it was all a big hype up. My boy didn't come close.
And also, the Irish are getting smarter at the game. They're dominating the Maori at 3
it's
or 4 phases. Says Nathan.
Play.
Stolen by Eklund.
Like you were saying, the Northern Hemisphere's come a long way. I would say the Irish and the English and the French are becoming better at knowing how to deal with fast.
That's not a good kick.
No,
it's just kicked it dead.
I would say that the Irish, the English, and the French are becoming better conditioned at fast-paced rugby, breakdowns, quick ball, knowing how to set defences. Because I always say that fast-paced rugby is going to beat slow-paced 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, which is in the past is how the All Blacks, South Africa, and Australia have beaten these sorts of teams. But now they're starting to learn how to defend forward play against them. So it's, yeah.
Risky tactic there for Josh Ioane being halfway down the field and kicking.
Yeah, no.
And also rubbish kicks, Maori. And also morning guys missed the game so far because of work and game any good. It's been probably not as free running as we wanted it to be due to the amount of rain that fell just before the game started. But the Irish, for me, have still stepped up.
Yeah.
They've had a few mistakes, of course, because a lot of these guys haven't played since about 2 or 3 weeks ago, if they were even in that side. But I think there's a few guys who have stepped up in this contest and put their name forward for Irish selection in the next game up against the All Blacks. And I would say one of those is Nick Timoney, if they decide to go with him off the bench, if he's match fit. And alongside that, probably either Jordan Lama or possibly, Keith Earls might get himself another crack. I think he's played every match. I'm talking to Sweep for this weekend, says not your everyday cultist. And also, will the New Zealand economy collapse and country go into lockdown if by chance Ireland win next Saturday, says Porter. I don't think we'll go into lockdown overall. Hopefully not anyway.
Economy should be fine.
I'm normally in lockdown anyway. And we're currently, it's very wet outside, so you wouldn't really want to go out and about.
No.
And there, if you wore a green Irish kit and you were a New Zealand supporter, you might end up getting a bit of strife from your own All Black supporters.
So the Maori All Blacks have just got the ball. What is it, on halfway?
40 metres out from their line.
They're going to kick it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they can actually do something with it.
Also, Frawley as well for the Irish number 10. Yep, he is playing there. And also, boys listening in Kildare, our Ireland up the Irish. There's Brian. And that deciding match this weekend. I am going to be covering it on the channel. It's going to be absolutely epic. Irish getting their first ever win on New Zealand soil up against the All Blacks. Could they make it 2 from 2 in a row?
Yeah, if they play like this, they will.
That's the thing.
So if they get a converted try here, which I don't think they will.
That wasn't straight.
Oh, Jesus. If they get a converted try, they're only 1 point behind.
Okay, Tom O'Toole was yelling at the referee there, not realising it was actually their ball for not straight.
Yeah, well, they were going to that's that.
Also, Gerard's great. Mahi, again, amongst boxes here. New Zealand says Darren, and also we have good there. It was already here. So it says Marco. And also we have got New Zealand, do not underestimate any team or else. You will invite worse situations, take one game at a time. Irish will come very strongly in the third test. Yeah, I don't think anyone from New Zealand is underrating or underestimating the Irish for that third one, because anyone, like I heard people for the second match say the All Blacks are going to win it by 30.
Yeah.
And straight away I was like, they'd be lucky to win it by 3.
Yeah.
But even that first match was such a shock to me in the series because of the score.
Yeah. It's one of those things we are sort of explaining earlier. They know how to beat the All Blacks now because the play that they're doing back in the Northern Hemisphere is becoming better at how the All Blacks actually play.
Down the wing now. It is
like
going
this.
to be.
They're getting better at this.
He got nailed in that tackle there, Michael Lowry, by Sean Stevenson. He's a little bit slow getting up, and I think his head might hurt quite badly. That one, Kean Healy, that man is a tank. He's kept on going throughout this series. He's had injuries that looked like he was going to be missing a lot. There's a kick in behind, going for a bit of territory here. Going to be a lot of pressure here on Josh Ioane. He should have kicked that well at the first time there. He almost got himself in trouble, but he's done very, very well to keep it alive. But it's a penalty to Ireland. Yeah. Okay, the referee's actually saying that it was the tackle made on Michael Lowry.
What the hell happened there?
For the high shot, for that first initial tackle. The one that I said was a big shot from Sean Stevenson. Oh, a little bit of push and shove here between Manakai Selby-Rickett and also his opposite number. They're like, hey, how many penalties are you going away today, mate?
I personally
He's
wouldn't
like,
want to
4.
take on the dude with the mullet. Personally, I would be like,
And also, this is basically the Irish URC Dream Team. And then I was like, well, I don't quite know what that means, but I know that it means something, that it's either bad or good, but I can't remember which way round. And come on, Ireland, says Mason there. And like first game, boring second half. Says Darren there, and also much love from Ireland boys. Great respect and connection between our two countries, says Brian. And there as well, yeah. Like that's the thing. The contest between the All Blacks and the Irish are going to get closer and closer. Like they've beaten us 6 out of the last, or 4 out of the last 6.
That's the thing is they're starting. Well, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of Six Nations, but is it becoming more quick or not?
I mean, Ireland and France were certainly trying to push that tempo.
Yeah.
Of the Six Nations, which is why their game in France, 30 points to 27, was just a thriller.
Like, well, and that's what I was trying to say is they're getting better at that sort of play. So the gap between I don't even think they'll completely overtake the Southern Hemisphere because you know what I mean. But if they, like France, right, you invest money into the grassroots, they've obviously gone, we want to produce more running rugby, quicker boys, you know, they'll produce money. And then it kind of ends up like this. That happened 10 years ago that they started doing that. Now we're seeing the end result. So I don't think they'll ever completely overtake the running rugby of South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. But I think it's going to be a lot closer.
Yeah.
I don't really want it to be that that gap gets really far. Because it's been like that in the past, considering England are the only Northern Hemisphere team to win a World Cup. And it's not fun. The All Blacks used to go over to the Northern Hemisphere and just win every game and then go home. It used to just be a cool tour at the end of the season. But now it's actually like, we may not win a game. So it's kind of better. But when that gap gets too big, that's what I don't like. So,
And also we have got there a little bit earlier on when we beat you guys on Saturday. I'll be walking on here all year. Don't laugh. Our best is yet to come. That's the thing. It's not a hugely unrealistic, that's the thing. At the start of the tour, anyone who said it was going to be 3-0, I always said, don't underestimate them.
No.
Because they're stronger than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
And, it's not completely out of the question for Ireland to beat the All Blacks. In fact, I would almost say it's a bit of a 50-50 heading into that last match. That's a great grubber. It's taken nicely. And Bailyn Sullivan's been able to run it in. Okay, he's forced it back, but they're going back for the penalty and going to be a cracking game or final game on a Saturday after winning on New Zealand still for the first time after 107 years. Can we win the series? Hopefully. But either way, should be a cracker, says Trevor. Yeah, see, for me, Ireland have accomplished so much already this tour. So it's one of those questions of, will this tour be remembered as just the one that they were able to get their first ever win on New Zealand soil, or will it be remembered as not only getting their first ever win on New Zealand soil, winning 2 in a row and winning a series up against the All Blacks?
Yeah. I'd rather Ireland than England. France.
I'm sure the Irish will appreciate you saying that because there's quite the rivalry in the northern hemisphere in there. And also we have got their thoughts on tonight, Manchester versus Liverpool. Says Gerald there. I didn't actually realise they were playing. Oh, sorry, Gerald. And there. And also pre-season about money, but my United are diabolical. Says Darren there.
Porter was saying to Dennis, don't get cocky. That's the thing that someone like Dennis is going to understand. Now you're at the top. So now you're in the position that the All Blacks were in. So you're thinking we're the best. And then the only way for you is down. So you might play England in the Six Nations and lose. And you're like, well, so the teams will learn now about Ireland. And they'll learn how to beat teams like the Irish. So, don't get too cocky because your losses will come and your downfall will happen as well. It's just part of sports, really. South Africa is experiencing it right now. So
the All Blacks rank 4th in the world rankings.
Yeah. For a long time, South Africa can get into the top 3. And then they won the World Cup. So
bobbling around on the 22-metre line currently. The Maori All Blacks once again giving away another penalty. We were holding on to the ball. They've been penalised many times throughout the second half, and also it's in Thailand, Paul. They are way better, says Darren there. And also we have got there, bro, AB's better or play Ireland than the Bok twice in South Africa. It's not looking good, bruv, says Marco Vonapolo. And looking forward to the Ireland versus France match next year in the Six Nations, says Mason there. And yeah, I also want to see South Africa versus Ireland. I know we get to see it at the World Cup, but I'd love to see a bit of a teaser on the palette before we get to that World Cup.
Yeah.
And also we got too cocky for the last 3 World Cups. Look how it turned out for us, says Emerald Guardian there as well. That's a loose ball. Oh, Lenny Uppersides just tapped it into the hands of the Irish. And now this could be a brilliant attacking opportunity. You got to go left. It's Brad. We were on 4.
Yeah.
And now close. They didn't go wide enough. That was quick hands that you needed there. Just tap in. Hands and feet.
I don't think they will.
Carl Dixon.
Just try and push it over.
Okay, this ball's not really becoming available. The moment Isaiah Walker-Leawere tries to shut it down, Billy Harmer makes another tackle. Now only a few metres away from the line once again for the Irish. If they score now, you'd have to say it's almost game over, and what a drive it is. Was it Nick Timoney? If it was, he deserved the try, but instead I believe it's Gavin Coombs who has been able to get that one, the big man. Gavin Coombs, brilliant man for Munster. And he has just been able to get himself another try, 1 try tonight, Gavin Coombs. That's the thing. All the loose forwards for Ireland are playing on another level currently. So it's that question of who gets dropped from the Irish side, if they even drop anyone. Like Jack Conan, he's a brilliant player, but do one of Nick Timoney or Gavin Coombs get the nod to start ahead of him?
Yeah.
Or do Ireland need to go with a 6-2 split to have the extra loose forward? The only problem with that is if Johnny Sexton or anyone in the back line looks to get injured early, you're kind of in a tricky situation. Oh, cheers, lads, now it's over, says Darren there. And also, would New Zealand prefer to play Ireland or South Africa in the World Cup quarterfinal? Probably Ireland, because I feel like everyone wants to see New Zealand, South Africa further down the line.
Yeah.
Like, as much of an awesome quarterfinal as it would be, I know the general consensus is people want to see that as the final or the semi.
Yeah. And the other thing you got to remember is with the eligibility rules, you got to remember, like, Australia's out with Quade Cooper, Rory Arnold, Will Skelton are in the squads. So you got to remember with eligibility rules, there's times when squads are really weak. World Cups come around, South Africa's got the best squad in the whole competition. So, for an Irish guy saying, well, the world number 1, we're going to beat everybody and we're chasing everybody, and then South Africa beat you, you're like, well, what happened? Because, there's weak squads, strong squads. The same for England. They'll beat Australia in the stretchy series and get, heads high, and then they'll lose a game that they thought they'd win, just like we thought would beat the Irish. So
that was nicely taken by Niall Scannell there, because he only had a little bit of time to line up the ball, and I dropped low for Balakoon. I think Balakoon's currently injured, though, unfortunately. But once it does get around to the World Cup, might have a decent crack. Although James Lowe's one of those players who has that kind of just ability of scoring in big matches when he needs to.
Yeah.
He scored the first try of the match up against New Zealand in the Irish tour at the end of last year. And come on, guys, we got to believe we can beat AB's. No point of playing one of the best teams if we don't go into it with pride and guts. Ireland by a try Saturday, says Dennis there as well. And also, so it's the 5th of November, Ireland versus South Africa. Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a big one. And although being rubbish down here, says Darren. Well, he's been all right.
No, he hasn't been as good as what.
Like, I know he's got a huge amount of, I guess.
Yeah. Hyped up a bit. I feel like he's been a bit hyped up a bit.
But that's because, like, even the commentators after, I thought it was a bit rough from the New Zealand commentators because they were like, well, since you're pretty much from New Zealand, how does it feel to beat your home side?
Yeah, well, he's got to expect it. If he's going to ditch New Zealand and go play for Ireland, he's got to expect it.
Yeah, but like
he's
he said, he's been Irish for 12 years or so. He's been over there. And
it's the same with Bundy Archie. Like, they knew that was going to happen. You can't get sour about it because it's what they decided to do.
And Kurt Eklund can't throw straight. Remember the Super Rugby final? Says believe that. And then also, I think South Africa could beat France. Says not your everyday cultist and Jack Cooney exactly.
Yeah, I'd love to watch South Africa play France. I can't actually guarantee that France could win that. You know, I can. No, so this is the thing. I can't. Like, people can sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, but Ireland beat New Zealand, but they'll beat South Africa." But no, I can't confidently say they could. Different teams get stronger and weaker, and you know.
Ben's made a very good point as well. Though. New Zealand take Islanders. The double standard is crazy. So yeah, it's kind of like asking a guy who's Tongan, like asking Richie Mo'unga. So since you aren't playing for Tonga.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think they're going at the moment, and do you think you'd make a difference, seeing as you could have been eligible to play for Tonga?
Yeah.
Or Tani Alatupo?
Yeah.
Nicknamed Tongan Thor, plays for Australia.
Yeah. It's a hard one for New Zealand rugby, though. Really hard for them. Because if you think about it, a lot of their talent come over to New Zealand and they get scholarships and stuff. What do you do?
Great run from Ruben Love now. The young fly-half. He's opened up the space. Ball on the outside to Cullen Grace. Flicks it back over the top to Ruben Love. What a try for the Maori All Blacks.
God damn.
And just like that,
they're
back in this match. And also too right, Ben says Kieran there. And also never forget, 2nd of November 2019, what South Africa did to England. They smashed them. It was by no means a close game. Said not your everyday cultist. Although France are a whole different beast than England. Like, they've got different styles. I believe they also put quite a few points on England in the Six Nations more recently. They've beaten them about 3 or 4 times in a row.
Out of England, Ireland, France, England are the third. They're behind on the times. They haven't adapted. They haven't invested in the next generation as well as Ireland and France have. I also think that, I just don't think the RFU has quite put the money where they should have years ago. Back in 2015, they should have done what the French did and heavily invested in the grassroots, but I don't think they did. I think they just wanted to get a better coach and forget about it. And I think out of those lots, England's at the back, to be honest with you, Yeah. Because it's interesting with the French, because they started this reinvestment years ago. It would have been 2011 when they started to go right. You know what I mean? So.
He shanked it. So the points are still 8 points difference in that one.
Damn it.
For awesome. Says Darren there. And also, what's up, Kiwi lad? Says the Ninja Dude. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And always back yourself. Says Lactex. And also, New Zealand won the first ODI against Ireland. Although they struggled. They won on the last ball of the match. Or the second last ball. Good work from Bracewell in that one. And also over there to Mickey. Pretty Mickey. And also the lads, Maori ABs, says Tesla. So the next thing the Maori ABs need to do is try and get themselves another point of some sort on the board. But if the Maori All Blacks don't score next, and it's going to be the Irish who scored, they have certainly secured this contest. And good conversion, says James O'Connor there. He didn't quite get the way that he wanted to. He hasn't. Has he converted today? He hasn't, Joshua, has he? He's had 2 misses, and the penalty try was converted for him.
Yeah.
Because it was straight underneath, and we proved because of Joe Schmidt and countless other Kiwi coaches in Ireland, in fairness, says Porter.
It's interesting that he brings it up. It's very interesting.
Slap down. That's going to now become a penalty against Sean Stevenson. They may even check this one for a yellow card because the way that the rule is written, if you...
Yeah, no, that was... it's going to be a fight between... Brad Rivers.
He wants the chance to regain a good try there. Bad luck with the conversion, not looking good. Says Bob there. And also, I voted for a draw in this game. Who knows what will happen in the next 10 minutes. And I wish South Africa had a B team. They played on the tours.
Well, it looks
like not your everyday
just
cultist.
Messed it up for them. He's not too far ahead of himself.
That was going.
Did he have a fair chance of getting it, though?
I want to say that was possibly travelling forward.
That's sort of the rule that if you had it, I don't think he was ever going to. Yeah, no.
Okay, he didn't regather. I think this is going to be a yellow card. An intentional knock on. You'll do it for us, ref. Come on, says Jack there. And also Black Cats will win ICC Cricket World Cup. Wales are up against New Zealand on the 5th of November as well. The Barbarians are against New Zealand 15 plus school against New Zealand on 13th of November, says Richard. And also penalty try, red card, says Darren. I don't know whether about penalty try, because I think they'll say because of how far out they should have had cover, but I believe it's still a yellow card.
Yeah, yellow card, not a penalty try.
He cannot regather, is the comment. He cannot regather, is the comment from the GMO, because Carl Dixon couldn't quite hear it.
Forward and I was out.
Yellow card for Sean Stevenson. He will not be back for the rest of this game. And can you do live of England versus Ireland second ODI, or New Zealand versus Ireland second ODI? I don't think we're going to end up doing the ODI for it, but we might end up doing the T20s rather than the ODI matches, just because they're a little bit longer. New Zealand will beat Ireland or England in the ICC T20 World Cup 2022 and won the tournament. And when other teams announced for Saturday, do you know? So I know that South Africa are announcing their side in about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Because they always announce it like way before anyone else.
Yeah.
So South Africa will be announcing their side tonight. Then New Zealand will be announcing their side on Thursday alongside Ireland and Australia and England. I think it is. But I think other than that, I want to say that everyone else is kind of around that Thursday, Friday mark.
Yeah.
I think World Cup prediction says, Jack, I probably don't know the squads well enough at this current time to be able to guess too well.
What do you think is going to happen in South Africa and Wales this weekend?
And yellow card for who? It was Sean Stevenson, the number 14 for the Maori All Blacks. They are playing with a man disadvantage now. 7 minutes left in this one. Hamish, how are you, brother? Doing very well, mate. And I am excited for all of the rugby that we have got this weekend. Craig Casey now once again sniping around the side. Like I mentioned, Connor Murray, he will be getting only about 10 minutes. It might even be less than the 10 minutes for this contest. Now Casey offloads it up to Kean Healy.
What did Bean say?
He
Bean,
said,
not a very funny
a bit far for that one. That one there. And also we will hold back many injured players like Sexton hold off. And also we have got the hard luck cousin Yahamihi, and also hopefully not a joke, says Rio Gamer.
Yeah, no, I don't know where Ben's from. He might not be from New Zealand.
Now that is going to be a penalty advantage, and a penalty in fact for New Zealand. They're only just out from their own 22. They've got a long way to go through to try and get towards it. Also finals weekend, you say it certainly is. Like every game of those 4 big matches is going to be one that could decide pretty much all the series, really.
Yeah.
Imagine we have like 4 draws. Everyone just has drawn series. That would be weird.
Yeah.
But it would be like kind of half by
it's gonna be interesting.
unrealistic.
A lot of people are saying that the Northern Hemisphere will get the win. A lot of people are writing off South Africa and the All Blacks. Which, in all fairness, I think is going to make it harder, because the South Africans will take that and use that, and
There's one thing that South Africa never lack, and that is passion.
Oh, this could be the hardest. If Wales are to try and get this win, this could be the hardest game they've ever done. You know what I mean? Physically, the South Africans are going to physically try to push them down. That's what they do.
Behind from Ireland, it's going to be sitting up nicely there for Josh Ioane, though, who once again decides he tries to run it out. Last time that happened, it was actually a penalty in favour of Ireland there, and also Alden. Again, Foster, you're watching and there as well says it was. And they're from Nathan. And also, I told my dad that all Southern Hemisphere teams were to lose past weekend. He didn't believe me, says Carl. And yeah, it's like huge, really, because of how different it was from the week before. It went from 4 wins for the Southern Hemisphere, for them being on the high. Then the Northern Hemisphere won the 4. Now they're on the high. And it's the question of who's going to kind of go over.
It's a little bit annoying when you hear a lot of talk about the World Cup. And everyone's like, oh, it's for the World Cup, it's for the World Cup. I'm like, can we just, just hold on,
enjoy the rugby while
and
it's
everyone's
here.
like, England's going to win the World Cup. It's like, God damn it, mate, come on. It's people like you who leave comments saying, oh, they cheated when you don't win the World Cup. It's like, you don't know.
And that New Zealand number 10 is a terrible kicker. Yeah, he's had a shocker in this game, Josh Ioane. Overall, I'm surprised that he stayed out there on the field rather than leaving Morby out there and getting rid of Ioane for Ruben Love. And also, we've got how good is this Maori team on paper compared to a Super Rugby team, for example, says Ashley. I'd say it's...
I think the Crusaders could beat them.
You think? I don't know. They're pretty much what I would call the equivalent of they'd do it right in the Pacific Nations Cup if they were playing in it.
Yeah.
and also, like, I'd call them a high-tier Super Rugby team.
Yeah.
Maybe not the absolute best Super Rugby team,
Yeah.
but they're up there. This is a good win for the Irish if they win it, because everyone said Maori All Blacks were going to win it because Ireland didn't go with their top side.
Yeah.
All right, also we got there, Jermaine Ty, because this is way too much. Says up Muddy and Jesse, and there's
What was that?
he's talking about
because this is way too much
from all the yawning as well. Yeah, he
I'm
normally
sitting
yawns
here in front of lights and cameras and stuff.
You can't handle the light, can you?
No, it's
hard on the brain.
It's also, you know, when you like, if you're
Craig Casey, nice run.
If you're busy and you sit down, you always just get tired. You know?
Nice run forward from Ryan Beard. He's gone backwards just a little bit more, and Chiefs bias for a former Chiefs terrible selecting. So he's Lex Saxon. To be fair, the Crusaders will be in the top 5 team internationally. And also George like healthy stuff or junk food stuff.
I'm the sort of guy who works out but still eats a shitload of junk food.
Keith Earls now going to make a couple extra meters. 10 out from the line here. If Ireland score now, this game is done and dusted for the Maori ABs. There's an injury there in the background from Marcel Renner, who's actually on one leg.
Yes, I don't understand it. So the All Black player's got it. Is it his or not? He doesn't know. So no one really knows.
Now, passed it up now. That is not actually who it was going to be at number 18. It was going to be Finlay Bilham and also Joshua Useless. And there's now, once again, it's going to be passed back across. And also Foster is selected for a purpose. New Zealand is set up to lose against the host France. It's about all money, or all about money, says the widow there. Now, Timony goes back across now. Quick hands, beautiful pass. And Lama will get a second. And the thing is, has that book Lama a spot in the Irish side for this weekend's contest? Because I would probably have him over Keith Earls at this point in time, but Lama gets his second. He scored in the 8th. He scored in the 79th.
When do we reckon? What do you reckon? So if the Irish had come to New Zealand and lost 3-0, what do you reckon that Farrell's job would be? You reckon he'd lose his job to like O'Gara?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think Andy Farrell has proved enough in the Six Nations that they're going forward.
He's actually sort of in the same situation that Foster is in. Because Schmidt left, he didn't get sacked, and they left on a high. And I know that when Farrell came in, he was in the same situation as what Foster was in. He wasn't really winning, and everyone was like, "Get rid of him, get rid of him." And it's interesting. It's interesting.
That'll line up this kick.
Elephant.
80% kicking at the moment.
Yeah, so he was sort of in the same situation as what Foster was in. So, yes, the Irish sort of know what New Zealand's going through from being on a high and then kind of doing a few games and not doing so well.
I do see Marcel Renner actually limping off the field there. That is a shame because he was going to be, that's gone wonky.
Oh, well.
Once again, the yawn a minute is once again delivered right on time, and it's going to be 1 minute left in this contest. 17. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you should stop doing that stuff with the man.
I don't do any stuff with the man. Why would I do stuff with the man? I'll get monkeypox.
You've been doing some work and you've been sitting down for a while, haven't you?
No. No.
Stuff with the man just now that I think about
Irish,
it sounds a bit...
They get in the rush. There's like 2 guys in there, man.
It sounded a bit dodgy, didn't it? But I was more referring to like working. Because you sit in the tractor normally.
Yeah. No, I think you were being rude.
No.
You were claiming that
Casey.
I do stuff with men.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
Okay, Casey.
I'll let them know your secret, Hamish.
Now pass it across. Gavin Coombs, look at him go, the big man. Now Keith Earls one.
That was a shit thing to do, mate.
A perfect opportunity for Love at 10's arm 15. That was hit on. It was a hard game for the Irish, USC, and also Howard Frawley. Frawley went all right overall. His kicking hasn't been too bad. Jack Cooney, in fact, sorry, that's Jack Conan doesn't get the opportunity in this fixture to play. Neither does Connor Murray, and neither did Joey Carberry.
No,
now to Mighty Williams.
I want to see Joey Carberry out there, man. He needs more game time, that kid.
I think they'll give him the bench spot coming up soon.
It's such a hard thing for Ireland, though, because I've got Leinster, Munster, and who else?
Ulster and Connacht.
There's 4 clubs. you know, when Carberry left, I think it was Leinster to go to Munster.
Ruben Love once again break a nice ball on the inside of Brad Weber, and that will be the try at the end of the match. It's too little, too late, but Ruben Love's really had an impact since coming on the bench, or coming off the bench, I should say there.
My ass is sore.
But now we will go like this, and we will go
CC
like this CC as well.
Captain?
Co-captain.
Oh, what? Co-captain?
Yeah, because DJ Perenata is the other co-captain. Got both halfbacks. And also Ruben Love again. Thanks for the stream, guys. Says Paul Ryan, no worries at all. I will be back for the match between the All Blacks and Ireland. That is going to be coming up on Saturday, 7:05. We've also got the team announcements that we will be doing on the channel leading up to that. Previews, reviews, a lot. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. His first try, great try. So here's a rare game at the end. He got the assist once again, and also would have had a good game considering he got the first try and assist in his try. So here's a rare game, and that one has gone over, and also we get some brine meat. Cheers, bro. I've been enjoying your commentary since finding your channel. Says Carl. Appreciate you a lot, mate.
Cheers, Mosh.
And do appreciate you for being here. And we are going to be back once again for the weekend and see you Saturday, guys. Thanks for very entertaining commentary, says Steve. So we will see you for that one. But the end of this match does end 24 points to 30. And who is your mate, says Albert?
Slightly even.
This is
not really.
George.
Who's your mate? My name's George. And I'm from New Zealand.
He's one of the other Kiwi lads.
Yeah.
Seeing as, because or else it would be Kiwi lad. I get that actually all the time. As you say it's lads, but you're lonely.
Yeah.
Is what I.
Why are you lonely?
Yeah.
Why am I lonely?
No,
like
me lonely.
I'm lonely because inadequacies in the bedroom. And that. So.
And Ruben Lover's class. Says Irish. He is indeed. And also Carberry Porter. Fence says Porter.
Yeah, no, it wasn't on.
And also, we've got their much love. And Ireland shutting it down before Maori could hardly get any momentum going, frustrating them. Irish takes advantage of it, puts points on the scoreboard. Rugby at its best, says Nathan there. And thanks for the commentary, says Emerald, but no worries. And yeah, we did see some very class performances here from Ireland. Individuals such as Nick Timoney, he was brilliant in this matchup. Also out on the wing, Lamar. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another opportunity this weekend. We will have to wait and see for those all those lineups. It will be Thursday. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy,
go like the Kiwi Lads gaming channel as well.
Sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also check out the Kiwi Lads gaming channel.
Yeah.
If you do want to see some gaming, and also he has to keep focused and keep going for it. As I prefer Frawley over Carberry. He might get a crack, Frawley, the way that he played in this contest, if he's not feeling too rough after playing for the full 80 minutes. And also some Ireland boys will be promoted, says Sammy Soza, exactly right. I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.